Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pregame show here at Moorpark College Raider Pavilion. My name is Ryan Ketchum, alongside Torin Perryclear. Torin Perryclear will actually be the color commentator analyst for us tonight, and I am the play-by-play commentator. We are here actually for Steve Burkhart's last regular season home game. This is going to be very intense. It's also senior night. Actually, well, excuse me, it would be senior night. It was high school, so it's technically sophomore night here at Moorpark College. So these sophomores are ready to go. It is 3C 2A WSC, the Western State Conference matchup between the visiting Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros and the home team, the Moorpark Raiders. What are you looking out to see this team do with Steve Burkhart being the last home game? They got to put a show on for their coach.
Well, obviously, it's a big game tonight for the Raiders. We have the retirement of Steven Burkhart. He's been coaching here for the men's and women's program for over 20 years.
Wow.
It is sophomore night, like you said, so this will be the last time some of our Lady Raiders will be able to play in this gym. And the stakes are high. I mean, we got swept 3-0 last time we played at the Santa Barbara gym. So now they're in our house. It's time to, hopefully get a win, a W over them. But it should be a battle. The Santa Barbara women's volleyball team, they're a very offensive team. They have some big girls, tall girls. They are offensive whips, big spikers. They don't have so much emphasis on passing, serve, receive, defense. But, as long as they can chuck a ball up to the outside or to the opposite hitter, they will get it down and get the kill. But, it should be a great match here tonight.
And also, as you mentioned, Santa Barbara City College, they're known for their offense, but we're known for our defense, Moorpark College. So what are some star players, what are some key players that you want to see step up tonight to get that win, since we did lose 3-0 last time we played them?
Well, a key aspect of the game here for the Raiders is ball control. We've got to be able to pass a free ball, pass a ball out of serve receive, and get it ideally in front of the 10-foot line to the setter. We want to be able to have 3 hitting options every time we get a pass to the net. We don't want any 2 passes which would be off the net, or a 1 pass, which is essentially a shank, where we have to just get the ball up just to get it in play. Some of the players we have tonight, Megan Conlon on the outside. She is an offensive whip. She is hitting at over 300%. 300 out of 1,000. We've got Madison Wright. She's more of a defensive outside. She is only hitting 154 right now, but the stats are a little, I wouldn't take that stat too heavily, because she's more looking to keep the ball in play, put the team in a better position than they were last on the court. And yeah, we have a very solid defensive team here. Our liberos are doing good with over 3 digs per set. That's tremendous for anybody here in the WSC. Yeah.
Yes, that is very tremendous. And of course, we mentioned more about Steve Burkhart, but sophomore night. So sophomore night, of course, it's where those freshmen that didn't get as much playing time, I guess you could say, in their freshman year, they're sophomores now. They're the leaders of the campus. They're the leaders of the volleyball team or the women's. How are they going to come out this game? We actually have a lot of sophomores on the team. I believe we have 5 starting sophomores.
That is correct.
What are they going to do tonight? How are they going to be able to get that motivation to be able to play a little better, give Steve that win, but also feed off of that home crowd? Because, of course, with that last home game of the season, everybody wants to see them win, so everybody's going to be out here.
Yeah, the energy in Raider Pavilion, as always, is tremendous. Everybody here is looking out for everybody for their home team. The sophomores, Rebecca Sexton, she was a backup setter last year. She has improved tremendously over the offseason during the summer and during the fall. And it was actually, there's a little bit of uncertainty before we started season, because we weren't so sure that she could fill the shoes of the last setter, but she has stepped up. Her sets are amazing. She is ranked 7th in the Triple C 2A in assists per set, which is, out of 82 teams, that's an accomplishment right there. So we can tell that she's connecting with her hitters. She's putting up good balls, and yeah, she's stepped up. Let's see, who else? Emily Sharp, this is her 3rd year playing. She tore her ACL her freshman year. She still wears the brace because she feels uncomfortable not playing with it. But this is her last night playing in the gym, and she's an outside hitter. She should be looking good tonight. Let's see, who else have we got here? Cindy Norris, she's another offensive whip for the Raiders. She is neck to neck with Megan Conlon. I believe she's 1 point behind Megan Conlon in kills per set.
Wow.
Yeah, and Megan Conlon, she's a whip. She's 6'2". She is very, very... She's the go-to, you know. Whenever the Raiders are in trouble, get out of system, we chuck a high ball up to her, and she'll spike it down, get the kill.
That's an amazing player to have. And I know you, of course our audience doesn't know, but I know you are actually part of the men's volleyball team, and you have some personal experiences with Steve Burkhart. Of course, you were never able to be actually coached by him because he was the coach of the women's volleyball team the first season that you came in. But what type of stories or, you know, hidden behind the scenes things that you could give us about Steve Burkhart that you know that the average person wouldn't?
Yeah, well, Steve Burkhart, he's an amazing coach. I wish I could have played for the guy personally. My first year here was his first year not coaching for the men's program. He hates the tip. That's what we all say about him on the men's side. His big thing is hit the ball. He wants to see the Raiders fighting till the end. You know, one thing about Raider volleyball, we may not be the tallest or the hardest hitting, but we will try and put as much fight as we can into every point. That's something unique to the Moorpark College volleyball program that I don't think you see in other programs in the WSC. Yeah, this is his last night coaching. This is his last night in the gym. He's a big inspiration. My coach, Aaron Hedlund, played for him. The assistant coach, Corey, played for him. He is a big inspiration to all the volleyball players here. We all look up to him, and he's kind of like our inspiration.
And since he is such a big inspiration, of course, we are going to see a big crowd tonight from just Moorpark College.
Absolutely.
People here, but how about alumni? How about, you know, visiting back? Was he so inspirational that all of those athletes that did get coached under him, are they going to be coming back? Are they going to be feeding some energy?
Yeah, I'd assume so. He's well-liked. All of his alumni players certainly like him. They'll come back to the program, do a practice or two, say hello, you know, help out and whatnot. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the alumni came back. Raider Pavilion is always packed, especially for the girls' team. Usually we're at capacity. The college president shows up to the games. Yeah, it's amazing. We've really got good energy here. We've got a good athletic culture going on at Moorpark College that is really unique, and I'm happy to be a part of.
Yes, and speaking about this day, it's Veterans Day. What type of, I guess, nationalistic pride can that, you know, feed into motivation for this team, trying to get that win for your country, trying to, you know, just get everything that you can for that motivation. Of course, Steve Burkhart, he's been coaching for 38 years at the college and high school level, and you know, he just loves this country. He wants to get this win for his team. How are they going to be able to, you know, step up behind him?
All right. I mean, Veterans Day just adds to the fury. It just makes the stakes even higher. We're all happy here to be playing volleyball. We're very grateful for our veterans, and we'll, you know, sing the Star Spangled Banner later to honor them. Yeah, it should be, like I said, you know, stakes are high. There are plenty of things going on right now, enough to, you know, frighten, make some of these players nervous. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, come the first serve, we see a shank pass or a miss serve or, you know, a little hiccup from one of the two teams.
And as you mentioned, the president is going to be here, meaning the, you know, the college president, Luis Sanchez.
Yes.
Now, Luis Sanchez, what does it mean for him to actually be, you know, coming to one of those games? You know, showing the pride not just from the student athletes, but from a very busy man that is the president of the school. What type of feeling does that give off to all the players?
Well, he is obviously very embedded in this school, especially athletics. I think more so than other presidents in the past. You know, he just likes to see a good game, and that's what we have here for him. So he's, you know, very, very friendly man. You know, you say, you know, don't call me President Sanchez, just call me Luis. He is a great guy, and we're happy to have him as president. He's, you know, just one more reason why we got to give these fans and girls a fight tonight in
yes.
Santa Barbara.
And with the big game against Santa Barbara, they have a 15-7 record, meaning Moorpark College, and Santa Barbara has a 21-3 record. They're actually 7-3 on the road, so of course this is a road game. So this is a good chance for Moorpark to be able to get revenge on these Vaqueros. But with this game being as it is, what are the playoff implications if Moorpark is to lose, or if Moorpark is able to get a well-needed victory?
Well, Moorpark's fighting to stay in it right now. If they lose this game, they are out. They probably will not make playoffs. It's the first two in the conference that will make playoffs. If they win, they could be conference champions, and they will make playoffs for sure. So last year, they actually cut down, they split up the conferences a little bit, so they only have 6 teams in their conference. So the stakes are a little higher. It's a little bit harder to make playoffs. There are less spots to make playoffs. So, yeah, these, just raises the stakes. It's a big game tonight, as we've said.
Yes, and through Steve Burkhart's career, he's had a winning record on every level, meaning in the college game, with if it is from WSC record to overall record. So notching another belt on his buckle of getting another playoff appearance. Would that necessarily, I mean, this is all speculation, but would that necessarily get him to come back to coaching? Would that kind of entice him a little bit more, or do you think this is his cutoff? This is his, 38 years of coaching, he's done now?
I mean, that's a certainly inspirational thought. We'd all love Burkhart to stay around. I think he's done, personally. He's been around for 25 years, but it's every coach's goal, especially Steven Burkhart's, to win the last game of the season.
Yeah.
And to any team, that's the state championship. So, let's hope he gets that goal.
Now, with this record being 15-7, and if they do lose, they have a chance of not making the playoffs, meaning Moorpark College. If they do win, they're almost a for sure to make it in the playoffs and actually get that conference championship title at a 6-1. Actually, that would be a 7-1 conference record after they win their next game. What would it mean if they actually don't get this victory, with Steve Burkhart moving out and also with him having 6 20-plus win seasons? What would it kind of mean to that program if they aren't able to win, and how will they be able to, get that confidence to come back next year and be able to get back to that same level that they have been?
Well, it's not the end of the world. They still have one more away game after tonight. However, that away game won't really mean anything if they lose. Yeah, it should certainly light a fire under all the freshmen's butts to come back even harder. Usually it's the second year in community college athletics where the players really start to evolve and, start and just progress. It's rare you see freshman starters in community college athletics. But, yeah, it'll certainly raise the stakes. If we lose tonight, which we won't, it will certainly give the freshmen something to fight for next year. I remember when I played my freshman year, we lost the last game of our season, and it definitely motivated me to, do everything I could during the preseason and work twice as hard to see these guys next season when they come back, the alumni, into our matches, so I could show them improvement, progress, that, we're not just here to win, but we're here to evolve as players and as people.
And at Moorpark College, of course, any college, any sport that you join at any school, there is a connection between the men's and women's. They support each other. They're always here. I actually, you mentioned you saw some of your teammates actually in the crowd right now supporting the Moorpark College women's volleyball team. What does it kind of mean to see the women's team have such a great record or have such a great season to you guys to try to, motivate the men's to do the same, or, vice versa? If the men's have a great season, does it kind of give a little more of a fire for the women to try to come back and prove themselves as well?
I mean, there's always that competition between the guys and the girls, but we love seeing our Lady Raiders do well in conference and preseason and whatnot. It just, motivates us to do better during our season. Yeah, obviously the girls and guys programs are tight-knit. We all show up to one another's games. We're always there for support. It definitely helps, being on the court when you see familiar faces in the crowd, people cheering, just, being rowdy and rambunctious and whatnot. It's always a positive, something you want at your game, especially at a home match, Away games, it's always nice to have people come out, but it's kind of a trek sometimes. But we have a preseason tournament tomorrow, and a lot of the girls girls from the girls team are coming out to support us. So yeah, we have a good thing going on here at Moorpark.
That is good. And with that men's season starting and the women's season, kind of fading away after, and the new, the new sports coming in with the winter season and then the spring season, do you also, all the other sports kind of support each other? They're all, of course, Raiders, but is it, that high school rivalry between sports where they don't show up, there's a little bit of hatred, or is it that big support that you see from the two teams of the same, sport? Is it the same support with all of the teams, meaning football to basketball to volleyball, baseball, softball, everything?
Yeah, no, definitely college athletes are far more mature than high school athletes. There's less, I guess, competitiveness between sports to, do well or to not do well. Yeah, I'd say the athletics here are certainly more supportive, and, if we see another athlete on campus, doesn't matter if they're from the same sport or not, we're still going to say hello, pretend like they're one of our own, which they are. Yeah, we do have like little get-togethers. Like we're trying to throw around an ultimate frisbee, just pickup game.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're all friends here at Moorpark. All the athletes are. Yeah, we have an office where we all hang out, and meet up, and talk about issues and whatnot. We have a captain's council where we discuss ongoing problems on the campus and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, we're very tight knit.
Yeah, I did notice walking around, Moorpark campus, just kind of feeling the vibe around with all of the players being with each other, all the coaches being with each other, even all the professors being with each other.
Yeah.
How is life, during school, during, just walking around campus, being a college athlete with everybody supporting you?
It's very, very commonplace, I guess. It like you said, everybody's super friendly. There's a good vibe going around campus. The professors start to feel more like students, like they're on your side. It doesn't have that university feel where everybody's competitive in the classroom, on the court. No one's friends with each other. It's Moorpark College, I think, is unique in that way.
Okay.
That there's a good support basis here.
That is good to have. And I think the girls are just finishing warming up. We did see the Santa Barbara City College warming up, and now Moorpark College is warming up, and they are going to get ready to play this match. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to this pregame show at Moorpark College Raider Pavilion. My name, once again, is Ryan Ketchum, alongside Torian Perryclear, and we are going, Torian Perryclear, we're ready to get this game going. We're ready to see this match, so thank you very much. We will be back in the booth for the first set coverage in just a bit after a few messages from our sponsors.
Fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved eating fulfillingly flavorful Firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not, because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse subs, the hero of all subs. Let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. An abridged hierarchy of man's needs. Clothing, shelter, duct tape, and beef. But not just any beef. Beef that meets Firehouse Subs' stubborn standards for unfettered flavor. Smoked in a smokehouse for no fewer than 16 hours. Then married to cheddar and steamed to unparalleled palatability. It's a man's needs reinterpreted by a man's man. A fireman. Recharged and ready to roll. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
I remember the moment clearly,
I'll never forget that moment.
as long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Moorpark College Raider Pavilion. Once again, I am here. We are here. Ryan Ketchum, also Torrin Perryclear. We are here.
Thanks for having me.
With the volleyball game coming up, the Vaqueros versus the Moorpark Raiders. Now it seems like they're still warming up, trying to get all of their hits together. Of course, as you can see on the screen, they are spiking the ball, they're hitting the ball, they're going up for blocks. Is that a good way to be able to warm up for the game, get ready for a little bit of actual game action?
Yeah, of course. A lot of times the warm-up will predict a lot of the outcomes of the game. Whichever team's more ready will certainly do better in the game. Four of these girls are looking a little lackadaisical, just kind of peppering, hitting the ball back and forth. But you can definitely tell that they have honed in their focus and that they are they're playing to win right now, whether it be against themselves in scrimmage before the actual match or come game time.
Yes, they are playing to win. And actually, as we're looking out at these warm-ups, we see a lot more people coming in the crowds. I know earlier on during the pregame show, there were some people coming in, but it wasn't as much as we're seeing right now. So we should be seeing a pretty big crowd tonight. I do see, as we were mentioning, a lot of the men's volleyball players coming in, including yourself.
Right. These stands should be at capacity come the first blow of the first whistle. The men's program's certainly here in support, like always. I think that's just given at any home match. The men's program should be there. We are zooming into the first serve here. We're just about to finish up hitting lines, get our last few swings in before the game starts. There's a bounce by Carly Campbell, looking good. Gotta show some glory.
Yeah, it seems like they're looking like their legs are fresh for tonight, even though playing 2 nights ago. Of course, I guess you could say those are back-to-back games, but it is good to see them, really fresh out here and getting some good hits down, good attacks coming up.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to hit your favorite shot before you do it in the game. That goes for anything. It doesn't have to be volleyball, but. Right now, hitting lines is kind of just about, turning heads and pressing people. Very few players will actually use it to their advantage, but, it's just part of the game. That's how it happens.
So there's like an intimidation factor for the other team, seeing how high you could jump, seeing how hard you could hit that volleyball down to the ground.
Exactly, that's one of the things about volleyball, hitting lines, who can hit the hardest, who can jump the highest, who can look the coolest.
Who can look the coolest, definitely. And are you expecting a big crowd out of, of course, Santa Barbara City College there, not like, right next door. So are you looking for a big crowd, especially since this is a rivalry game and Moorpark's the only team that Santa Barbara lost to?
I expect a huge crowd from Moorpark. You need some very devoted Santa Barbara fans to make the hour-and-a-half drive out to Moorpark to see this volleyball match, which I wouldn't rule out. It definitely could happen. Probably, not the numbers we're seeing for the Moorpark fans, but I could see friends or parents, whatnot, to come out to these games and support. And trust me, it makes a difference. These girls will definitely look to their family and friends for support when maybe the game's not going their way. Say a shanked pass or a missed serve. You got to know that you have support. People want you to win this game. It's a big factor.
Yeah, that's always good. I just wanted to address something real quickly to our audience. Emery Johnson, one of our commentators that's part of our team, he is actually going to be doing the PA announcing as well. That's one of the reasons why Torin Perry-Claire, he is with us. Of course, yeah, the opportunity, but he is doing a great job so far. So he should be back for more women's volleyball games in the future. But I just want to address that fact if you were wondering why Emery Johnson wasn't in right now. Also, Nathan Espinoza, he is not currently here right now, so he will not be able to do the women's volleyball games as well.
Of course, Emery Johnson out of commission right now with a stress fracture in his left arm. Thank God it's the left, not the right.
Yes.
You know, he's a pitcher. He needs that right arm. He was playing pickup football the other day and came crashing down on it like a T-Rex. But he will be back in commission 6 weeks tops.
Yes, hopefully he will be back with the same fire, the same velocity as he had before.
Of course. Moorpark men's baseball actually recently came back. They cut the program a couple years ago. They had a program in Oxnard, but not at Moorpark. And, you know, just talk to Emery. He is very thankful that program is back and in full effect. Gives him a chance to show his athleticism and, you know, just live the athletic life.
Yes, and it's very great option for a community college out here. You see a lot of professional athletes nowadays actually coming out of community college. Just to name a few examples, if you know anything about the NFL or football, which I'm guessing you know our audience does, they're Cam Newton, the star and the Carolina Panthers, he was on the Florida Gators, and then he switched to a junior college because he wasn't getting any playing time under Tim Tebow. Then he was picked up by the Auburn Tigers and then drafted #1 overall to the Carolina Panthers. So whichever path that these athletes take to their professional sports is one that they will take, and community college, like I mentioned, it is a very good path. We saw Isaiah Mustafa, who's actually an alum from Moorpark College. He was able to make it on a few practice squads in the NFL, and he actually got a chance to play in a live NFL game, and he was on an NFL roster. So just the experience, even with Moorpark College, seeing that we have some professional athletes, this definitely motivates all of our student athletes to be able to, you know, rise up to another level and get those Division I schools to track them down.
Absolutely. You know, D1 through 3 and community college, that certainly puts labels on things. You know, people think community college sports are the bottom of the pack and that Division I sports are the say-all. But that is certainly not the case. You know, you see athletes from D2 and even D3 schools going professional, and even the Division I athletes who do play at a Division I university their first year, they're probably not getting game time, and it's not too uncommon to see a Division I athlete actually go to a D2 or a D3 program just to get game time and you know, play. It's not the most fun thing in the world when you're just rooting for your starting six or who have you on the court and you're just sitting on the bench. Certainly means a lot more if you're actually in the game, in the moment, making you know, plays and whatnot. It certainly has an impact on your psyche and just your worth on the team.
Yes, it does, and just getting that chance. Actually, one of the games that we did cover this season was against Fullerton College. It was a football game, and Fullerton College, almost their whole starting lineup is going Division I for their football team. So as you were mentioning, just that fact that it might not be that pretty, you know, being at a Division I college and just sitting on the bench through the whole game, to actually go to community college and seeing actually how much talent they have. The second to last game that we covered against Ventura College was the Ventura Pirates against Moorpark Raiders football game in Ventura. There was a person from IMG Academy. IMG Academy, if you don't know, all of their sports, especially their football team, they have over 22 Division I recruits every single season. So this player might have not had the same opportunity at that Division I school as he would have at Ventura College. So he chose that Ventura College path, get 2 more years of experience under his belt at a college level, and then go go Division I and then hopefully professional.
Absolutely. That's the great thing about community college is that it really gets you a chance to get noticed. You know, some kids straight out of high school, they'll go D2 or D3, and that'll be it for them. You know, they'll certainly progress and get playing time and have a great time at their programs. But if you go through a community college program, it's like putting yourself out there. It's a little showcase. Your whole season, is being filmed and being watched, and it really helps to put yourself out there.
Yes, it does. And I think they're actually going to be announcing all of these sophomore players. It looks like they have little goodie bags and everything, to commemorate their success that they've had at Moorpark College and commemorate how much they mean to the Raiders team. So this is a great night for all of these players playing their 2 years, or maybe even more, but their 2 years here at Moorpark College.
Of course, yeah, it's a little bit of a star-stricken moment for some of these girls. The last time they'll be announced and called up to one of their home matches. I'm sure it's a very special moment. They're announcing Steve Burkhardt's last game right now. Some of the parents are sharing hugs and whatnot with the coach. It's a great moment for everyone.
That is a good moment, and usually you see on a sophomore night or a senior night, you see that they're taking pictures, with their parents and everybody, but just how much that coach means to them, that they're actually going to be taking pictures with the coach. That is just, a great feeling for him. And I actually see there's a few posters out there with, the coach's face. So the whole entire Moorpark College family knows how important he is to them.
Yeah, you really see everyone come together here, not just the players, not just the coaches. You see the coaches chatting it up with friends and families of the players. You really see how just sports and athletics really just make school and college a better place.
And something that's also great that they're doing is Steve Burkhardt, he's actually the only coach that they know. All of these players that are on this team right now, all these players that are the sophomores, that's the only coach that they know. So they've been basically having him as, that coach, maybe even a father figure to them throughout their years of 2, 3, 4, however many years it has taken when they were redshirting or just on the team. So it does mean a lot to all these players, and we actually see number 4 out there, Natalie O'Sullivan is actually out there. She's a middle blocker, 5'10" sophomore. They are all just, congratulating his accomplishments, and also while congratulating their own accomplishments.
You see the photos of the players and the coaches framed, being passed out right now to the coach. Flowers being given from the parents and the players to Steve Burkhardt. They're really just giving him the full treatment right now, serenading him in the fullest effect. But it's really great. He put in 25 years here. I owe a little bit of my volleyball career to him. Without him, he wouldn't have started the boys program, and I wouldn't have a chance to play. So we're all very grateful and proud of him.
Yes, and that's great that he did bring upon that Moorpark Raiders men's volleyball team. And as we see out here also, this is almost like a comparison to the NBA. If you ever watch National Basketball Association, any of those basketball games, the first game of the season, always at the start of the season, they'll have that championship team, the team that won the championship the year before, they will always have a game on opening night. And they will always have, it's called the ring ceremony. They have the banner raised in the stadium. They have the rings given out to all the players. So, the big bedazzled rings, and all the players are wearing it, and they're all pumped up before the game. This almost has the same feeling with it, because with those games, you also see the other team has to watch that whole entire celebration. So that could basically give, a little bit more of a umph or a little more motivation to go out and win this game.
I mean, of course, it's definitely a tactic, slow down the other team before the game and then have a quick pace when you start the game. I don't think that's the direct effect of this. They want to honor their coach.
Yes.
Coach comes before the game, but yeah, I can definitely see how that would have an effect. If I was over there on the Santa Barbara line right now looking at all these Moorpark players with their coach, I'd be, kind of being felt left out right now.
Yep. And as we are continuing talking about this, we also see of course, the former players coming in, the parents coming in, but they also have balloons everywhere. They have signs up, through the school it's just amazing how much they support this coach.
Right. You can see the most interesting man in the world posters covered with Steven Burkhardt's face from the men's team. That's always a classic joke. Great to see by the Moorpark College men's volleyball.
Yes, and he's definitely the most, most amazing person in the world, most interesting person in the world.
He certainly is right now.
Moorpark College team, yes.
Definitely.
And it looks like we are just finishing up all of the starting lineups and all of the sophomore night lineups as we see another one of their players. That's actually number 16, Cindy Norris, that outside hitter. She is second in kills in the WSC. That is just amazing number.
Of course, she's a great hitter. They have her at the opposite position right now. She just hits, doesn't pass serve receive. Although they will have her come in and pass serve receive when one of the outsides or libero is struggling. If libero gives a shank pass, they'll say, okay, take a step back, and Cindy or whoever's playing opposite will come in and pass for them. But yeah, definitely, she is an offensive whip. They have fourth in the 3C2A. That is that's up there. She's top of the pack. 82 teams at least in this conference for women's volleyball, so that says something.
Yes, it does say something, and it does look like they are announcing a little bit about Steve Burkhardt right now. Everybody's standing up, clapping. As you see out in the crowd, there is a standing ovation. Everybody is excited to see. I actually see some signs as well, not just the most interesting man in the world signs, but signs with words written on it, signs with inspirational words about how he changed people's lives. And it's just amazing the warm reception people are giving him. Everybody's Snapchatting right now. Everybody's taking pictures of him. Even the opposing coaches, opposing players are clapping for this coach.
That's just how much everybody respects this guy. He is bigger than life. It's a big night for him. You can see a lot of the other athletes from soccer or softball showing up tonight to pay their respects and support the sophomore girls. This is a big moment right now.
Yes, and it looks like they are going to be getting ready to sing the national anthem very soon. I think they're actually singing it right now.
Just wanted to personally say thank you for
Excuse me, they're actually talking. A few of the sophomores are thanking them.
Yeah.
So actually, we're going to go off right now. Sorry to cut you off, but we're going to go off right now. We will be back. We are actually going to go to the coverage down on the floor.
and for never giving up hope on us, and we love you, Berkey.
Thank you, Megan. Now we have team captains Cindy Norris and Rebecca Sexton to say a few words about their head coach.
Coach Burkhardt, we just want to say thank you for everything you've done at Moorpark for our team and the team before us. You put your heart and soul into our team, and you filled all of our passion buckets. We love you, and we want to say we can't put into words how much we appreciate you. Thank you for this teardrop of time.
Thank you, ladies. And now, presenting Vance Manicus, the interim athletic director and athletic trainer here at Moorpark College.
Thank you. First, I'd like to call Melinda and Caitlin up. First, I'd like to thank both of you for allowing Steve Burkhardt to coach at Moorpark College for as long as he has, these 24 years. As you all know, the commitment that it takes a lot out of the family, and we know what that means. We're definitely going to miss Steve as a department. As a family, all you members are here right now. We know the family. I must have had a few drinks. I see 3 Steves in the audience today. But again, I want to say thank you for allowing him to be at Moorpark College. Steve, a little token of your appreciation, the Moorpark College Athletic Department has a little gift for you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a few words from our former athletic directors, starting with Howard Davis.
I see the posters over there of the most interesting man in the world with Berkey's face. I don't know about the most interesting, but I will say he is the single most influential individual in Ventura County volleyball. Not only all the banners that he's put up at Moorpark College, but the coaching tree that he has started, and all the players and former coaches that are now coaching high school throughout Ventura County, coaching at four-year colleges throughout the country, including the reigning Division III National Championship team at California Lutheran University as one of his former coaches. If it weren't for Steve, Moorpark College would not have men's volleyball. Cal Lutheran would not have men's volleyball. He truly is the most influential volleyball person in Ventura County. I forgot a couple things. He also started and has run the Ventura County High School All-Star Game, boys and girls, in this gym for the last 24 years. And for more than 20 years, he held a robust and great volleyball camp in this gym.
Thank you, Howard. Now introducing our second athletic director of the night, John Keever.
I see a lot of familiar faces here, but the best one I've seen is Steve again. In 1992, when I became the athletic director at Moorpark College, I had to hire a new women's volleyball coach. And Steve came in. There was a couple other really outstanding candidates. And we decided on Steve, just kind of fresh out of the high school scene. And we just loved his personality and the way we thought he could handle this program. And that was 24 years ago. And so I think we made a pretty good hire. And so he's had a long record here, but beyond that, he's an outstanding coach, outstanding teacher in the classroom, and the best thing about Steve, he's probably the finest person you could ever meet. And I'm so happy to be his friend, had the chance to hire him, and thank Moorpark College thanks Steve for being a part of this program for 24 years.
Thank you, John. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to clap and cheer for Steve Burkhardt. Thank you for all you have done for Moorpark College athletics.
I just want to say a couple things real quick. First of all, thank you, Santa Barbara. I didn't mean to take all night here, and you know, you're sophomores. Step forward, sophomores. If you're sophomore on that team, take one step forward for me. That's awesome. Okay. Ed Gover's been the coach there as long as I've been the coach here, so he's been in the trenches with me all this time. I'd like to thank him for all he's done for volleyball. And last but not least, my family. You know, as a coach, they make all kinds of sacrifices. These girls make sacrifices for a couple of years. They've made sacrifices for over 30. So without them, Melinda and Caitlin are here. I just wouldn't be standing here right now. But thank everybody, all you alumni that are here tonight, the parents that are here tonight, my sophomore group, my coaches, Aaron, and let's play some volleyball. Thank you.
In lieu of tonight's events, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you, if you are a veteran in the stands, it is Veterans Day today. If you can please stand up, we would like to honor you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. They actually just gave Steve Burkhardt an award right here. They had a few athletic directors talking about him. Vance Manicus, of course, Howard Davis, who used to be the athletic director also for Moorpark College, and it was just amazing. But actually, right now, we're going to go to the singing of the national anthem, so we will be right back.
you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, time
Now
for
we're back
starting
after
lineups.
the
Starting first with
national
SBCC, the Vaqueros.
Yeah, we are back.
Starting number
Something to
5.
bring up. Vance
Isabella
Manikis
Thompson.
talking about how grateful he was
7,
for
Jalen
Stephen
Kessler.
Burkhart, 25 years as
Number 9,
coach.
Kayleen
Came to
Guerrero.
tears.
Number
We
10,
had
Hillary
Stephen
Meade.
Burkhart honor
Number 14,
the
Kiana Biazul. Number 15,
coach for the
Caroline
women's
Andrios.
program. He said that he had been in the
Libero,
trenches
number 6,
as long as he
Claire
had
Maxar.
for the women's program. His
Now, ladies and
words.
gentlemen, it's time for your Moorpark
Game is about to be
Raiders.
underway here.
Number
We
4,
have the introduction of the Moorpark players coming right now.
Yeah, number 4, Natalie O'Sullivan will be starting. Number 5, Taylor Brown will also be with her, though both middle blockers and both sophomores.
Right. We have got Rebecca Sexton, the setter, being introduced right now.
Yeah, she's number 7 and number 8. Madison Wright will also be out there. Those were the setter and the outside hitter.
Madison Wright, 9th out of all the 3C2A in serve receive and
Wow.
service aces.
That is just phenomenal. We also have number 15, Megan Conlin, and number 16, Cindy Norris. But that libero, one of the leaders on her team, number 1, Carly Young. She's
Carly
the
Young,
libero.
She's the libero, sophomore libero coming in. As we can see, the players slapping hands, paying their respects before this game is underway. We've got the traditional cheer and shout by the women's players. You know, one last amp up before this game begins. Get a little bit of energy going between the team. Carry that into the first set.
And now this amp up, you're a men's volleyball player. How much does this amp up actually amp you really up? How much does it actually get you motivated, get you going for the game?
Right. Some of it's a little traditional, you know. Sometimes it can just be going through the motions, but the best teams will utilize it to its full effect, you know. Some teams will have a chant where they'll be waving back and forth, screaming, whatnot. Moorpark, we usually just have the 1, 2, 3 Moorpark chant, but this game is underway right now.
As we are ready to go for this 3C2A Northern Western State Conference matchup between the visiting Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros and the home team, the Moorpark Raiders. Once again, we are here at Moorpark College Raider Pavilion for this matchup.
We've got Madison Wright going back to the service line, first server. Usually coaches will put their best server to be the first server and want to start off this match right, you know. Float serve into the net will not cut it for a match with the stakes as high as these.
Yes, and you were speaking about Madison Wright. She is number 9. I believe you already mentioned this, but this is just an amazing stat. Number 9 out of all college, junior college, out of all community college in California, she's number 9 in service aces per set. That's just phenomenal.
Right. She had, I think, a 9 service ace run against Cuesta a couple of weeks ago. It was ridiculous. Their team was just shanking balls left and right. They were scared at her serve. And here she comes with a jump float in the serve. Pass by the outside. We've got a slide actually in the first play. That's unique. You usually don't see a slide from the middle blocker on the first play of the match. Interesting.
And there was a block from number 15, Megan Conlin, that did deflect out of bounds, so the point will go to the Vaqueros.
We got a serve from the Santa Barbara libero, number 6, Claire Bagsadar.
Nice save from Moorpark.
Nice save. Pass. Oh, bad set there by Santa Barbara. We got Rebecca Sexton with the set. Tip shot over the block, hits the floor, point Moorpark.
Wow, that was almost like a campfire. I was able to drop right behind those middle blockers, able to drop right behind there for that point to go to the Moorpark Raiders at the score tied 1-1.
Exactly. Carly Young, number 1 with the serve. Float serve to the line. Good pass by the Santa Barbara libero. Hard hit from the outside.
Nice dig, though.
Roll shot coming by Megan Conlin. Up, out. Oh, shank to the outside. We got a free ball coming here from Moorpark. Pass by Carly Young. 1 set to Natalie O'Sullivan.
As it comes back.
Shot.
2 tip shots in a row.
5 set to Cindy Norris, and she gets the kill.
That was a reception error right there.
Reception error. Hit right at her and shanked off her left arm. We got Carly Young back to serve.
Yeah, that's number 1, the libero.
Terrorizing Santa Barbara serve receive with her float. Oh, but she sends it long. Not this time.
Yeah, sometimes on those float serves, it seems like it kind of carries a little bit.
It can carry, it can drop, it can do whatever it wants. That's why we call it a float serve. It'll move around on you, and there's no predicting it. 2-2.
Here comes the serve, and there was an error.
Right through the hands of Megan Conlon, number 15. It's all right, though. She gets a pat on the back from Maddie Wright.
And number 9, Kayleen Urano, is out to serve for the Vaqueros. 3-2.
Float serve. Overpass by Madison Wright. Oh, but hit out by... Referee calls it in. Overturns the line ref. Gives the point to the Moorpark Raiders.
It'll be 3-3, all tied up.
Float serve coming in by Cindy Norris. Good pass by the Santa Barbara libero.
Here comes an attack.
Oh, we got that slide again from Santa Barbara. Sexton chucks it up for Cindy to free ball it over.
That was a good save by Sexton, able to get the ball back up.
Oh, launched long by number 15, Carolyn Andrelus, the outside for Santa Barbara.
Yes, and actually Andrelus, she is ranked number 44 in all of the 3C 2As in kills. So she is great.
She's pretty good. Middle of the pack, you know, out of 82, but that's saying something.
Yes.
Oh, but they ruled it point to the Santa Barbara team. So
it seems like the ref overturned the call.
Overturned. Hey, this ref is calling the shots tonight. Not really trusting his line refs or the Dow ref.
Here comes another attack, but it is hit into the net.
Hit into the net by Megan Conlon. You can see some of those nerves starting to show themselves here in the first couple points of this first set.
Yes, and a little bit of error from Moorpark, but the score is still just 5-3.
We've got a float serve inbound. Off the tape, passed by Natty O'Sullivan, but it's over. Santa Barbara with the dump shot over. Let's see, we've got a dump over by Rebecca Sexton. Passed up by Megan Conlon.
Here comes another attack.
Roll shot by Cindy Norris. Here comes number 11 for Santa Barbara. And it hits the floor. Killed by...
Yeah, that was Shannon Friend.
Shannon Friend.
You got a friend in me.
6 feet tall, Shannon Friend. Big hitter.
6-3.
Oh, called in. Ace serve by Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it seems like they were just waiting for the ball to drop in front of them to see if it would go out of bounds. That was Madison Wright, number 8.
Serve receive looking a little shaky here for these Moorpark Raiders. D-ball, Cindy Norris. Hit hard, but dug up well.
Is the return back?
Let's see. Oh, roll shot inbound by Megan Conlon. She sends it long. That one was clearly out. No discrepancy between the head ref and the line ref.
Good job by Steve Burkhart, though, calling a timeout right away with the score being 8-3 in this matchup. The Vaqueros are just up by a bit, and we will be back in just a few seconds with a message from our sponsors.
Firefighters do fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises, demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved, eating fulfillingly flavorful firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses, steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not, because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
We are back now with the score being 8-3. Vaqueros are in the lead after a good set of serves right here that we've been seeing by number 15, Andrelus.
Right. We got number 15, Andrelus, serve coming inbound for the Moorpark serve receive. Just saw them coalesce, talk things over. Let's hopefully see a response here. Short serve by Andrelus. Comes up, Cindy Norris attacks from the D-ball. Ooh, big hit by Megan Conlon, but blocked back by number 14 of Santa Barbara.
Yes, and that was a great save, though. But it is hit down to the ground. They were unable to bump it up. A clear bump back up to the setter, so it will be Vaquero point.
Right, the block took a little bit of the power off that hit. Trickled right over and hit the campfire.
Yes, that was a campfire in there. Andrelus still serving.
Just terrorizing Moorpark serve receive. Served out of bounds. Break from Moorpark Raiders right here.
Yes, they get a well-needed point out there, down 4-9. in the first set.
Got number 11, Carly Campbell, back to serve. Oh, but she's being subbed out by number 2, Tyler Gallipo.
Yes, and Tyler Gallipo, she is listed as one of the liberos. Of course, she's not playing libero right now because Carly Young is in the game.
No, they have her in as what's called a defensive specialist. See,
Yeah.
they took one of the offensive hitters out and put in more of a defensive-oriented player to play back row for her.
Okay, so if there are 2 liberos in the game, then one will be a defensive specialist?
Exactly.
Okay. That's a smart move by Steve Burkhardt, especially since they have been getting points. That is the Vaqueros, as they just get another point on a receive error.
And you see number 1, Carly Young, shank that pass. The serve receive is looking very shaky right now for the Moorpark Raiders. Madison Wright gets that ball up. She gets set, tip over the block.
That was good positioning, but
ref called that Moorpark was into the net.
yes, a little net violation from the Raiders, which will give the Vaqueros another point.
Exactly. Float serve by number 5, Isabel Thompson. Cindy Norris being put into pass, gives a great pass. Over, free ball for Moorpark. Middle set, over the block, passed up by Santa Barbara. Outside to Santa Barbara. Oh, hits the deep corner. Number 11, Shannon Friend with the kill.
Yeah, that's another campfire right there. They were trying to see if that ball would go out of bounds, but unfortunately it did not go out of bounds for the Moorpark Raiders. But let's just talk about how this game is going right now, how this set is going. It seems like the Vaqueros, they're just kind of dominating with the serve right now. They are just, they had about 6 points in a row from just serves.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you can tell that all the passers on Moorpark are scared of her serve. You can't, Shannon Friend with the kill before the timeout, you can't be hoping for those balls to go outside. You've got to make a move. You either see it go outside the line or you pass it, you know. You can't be hoping for free points from Santa Barbara.
Yes, they won't just be giving that out. And as we saw, Carolyn Andrus, she was the one that had 6 serves in a row that kind of started a rally. But she is number 1 in kills in the WSC the Western State Conference, the Northern Division, and she's not really known for serving as much, but she was able to, get on a roll. So that might be a little scary for Moorpark, but don't be too worried because Moorpark will be ready to go after that timeout from Steve Burkhardt.
Hopefully we'll see a response here from Moorpark. That early second timeout.
Great save by Sexton with the set.
Hard hit by Madison Wright, number 8, gets the kill. She had 1 blocker up. It's always a setter's job to get the outside pin hitters 1 up in this game. It's an advantage for the offense. We got a float serve by number 4, Natalie O'Sullivan, inbound. She sends it long, point to Santa Barbara.
Yes, and those float serves, as you mentioned, they kind of carry any direction that they want, and we've seen that the Vaqueros, they are able to get those float serves in, but Moorpark, they've just not been able to do so.
Right. Pass by Madison Wright. Oh, and number 5 with the slide attack, middle blocker.
Great save, though, by Young, but a little bit of miscommunication on the part of Sexton and Brown. They were unable to decipher which one would hit it up, and it does hit the ground, so Vaqueros get the point.
Right, and it's actually the job for Rebecca Sexton to shove her middle blocker out of the way. It's her job to set the ball. She needs to make sure that the middle doesn't get caught in the traffic.
Yes.
Number 11, Friend with the kill off the block and down, point Santa Barbara. Rough start here for the Moorpark Raiders, trailing 5-16.
As you mentioned, that second hit, that second bump up, that second set, whatever they are able to do, that is Sexton's job to get the ball, correct, with that setter? They are supposed to get that second hit.
Exactly. They're supposed to set the ball up for one of the pin hitters to hit in that situation, since the pass was unsettable for a middle attacker.
Vaqueros winning this matchup 16-5 in this set.
We've got number 14, Kiana Pisola, back to serve for Santa Barbara. Pass by the Raiders. Madison Wright with the attack, bumped up by Santa Barbara. Libero sets the opposite attacker. Cindy Norris with the pass. Tip over the block, picked up by the setter.
Good position with
Santa
the tip.
Barbara. Ooh, and this referee just calling every net from Moorpark. It's really hurting them right now in this game.
Wow, yeah, those Those are exactly like penalties for football. If you've been watching our football coverage, you see that Moorpark College have had a lot of penalties. So with these are basically the penalties for volleyball, and all of those net violations or anything that could cause a big downfall for the Raiders in this match.
Exactly. Any violation in volleyball will actually give the opposing team a point, so it's less of an advantage and more of just speeding up the game. And slide attack by number 7, Jayla Caston for Santa Barbara. Hits it out. Moorpark gets the point. Float serve by Rebecca Sexton. Passed up by the libero for Santa Barbara. Oh, middle attack by number 7, Jayla Caston.
It just kind of slid in between those two players for a campfire. Unfortunate. 18-7, the score stands. Vaqueros winning this matchup.
Oh, smart shot by Cindy Norris. Hits it into the block, comes back on her side, but out of bounds. Gets the point for the Moorpark Raiders.
Back to serve number 8, Madison Wright.
Hopefully she can get something going.
Especially with her being number 1 in the WSC and service aces per set. Not service errors. That wouldn't be a good stat to have.
We wouldn't be talking about her if she was leading service errors. Oh, launched long by Sydney Norris. This game has such a small margin for error. Sends that one long.
It's very slim, and the score is 19-8 as the Vaqueros are serving.
Float serve by Santa Barbara.
A nice attack.
They pop it up. Free ball from Moorpark coming deep. Rebecca with the middle set. Oh, sets the back one attack. Cindy hits it into the block and down in the Moorpark court. Point to Santa Barbara.
It seems like Moorpark was looking for that attack to be able to go down.
It looked like Cindy was just closing her eyes and swinging. Just swinging for the fences. Oh, sent long by the Santa Barbara libero.
Yeah, so now the score will be 9-20. Moorpark just down in this first set.
Number 1, Carly Young, the libero from Moorpark, back to serve. Jump float. Passed up by the libero, number 6 for Santa Barbara. We got Cindy Norris on attack.
Good bump up by Young.
Sent to the outside. Let's see if Santa Barbara can respond. Chucks it to the outside, tips it deep. Oh-ho. Rebecca Sexton jumps up, ball slides off her hands, goes down. Point for Santa Barbara.
Sexton, at being 5'8", just could not get her hands on that ball. She just got a few fingertips.
Right, it's her job to talk with the middle back in the defense to coordinate who's going to pass up that ball.
That attack goes a little too far, and it will be a 20-second point, but it was tipped, so Moorpark will get the point.
Interesting call. Again, the line ref did not call a touch on that ball. The head ref overturned it.
Here comes the serve.
Passed up by libero. Good pass. Going to the outside. Soft block off the high hands. Oh, we got a kill from Natalie O'Sullivan in the middle.
Yes, that was tipped once again by the middle blocker, so it will be Raider point.
Score is 21-11. You can feel the energy starting to build, though, for Moorpark. They're starting to get ahead in this game, even though the score may not show it.
This is a free ball.
Free ball from Moorpark. Perfect pass. Slide approach. Oh, but Natalie O'Sullivan chucks it along.
It looked like Moorpark was trying to see if they did tip the ball, but there was no tip. So it will be Vaquero point.
Exactly.
22-21 in the first set.
We got number 15, Carolyn Angelis, back to serve. She was a whip earlier in the set.
Yeah, she's the one that's leading the WSC in kills, as we just see another kill by the Raiders. That was Megan Conlon.
Right. Kayleen Ureno got a hand on that ball, got it up, but it was hit so hard it just flew to the back line. It's a point for Moorpark.
Sometimes when a ball's hit that hard, it's kind of hard to control or kind of hard to bump up.
Absolutely, and it's scary, you know, getting the ball hit 60 miles right in front of your face.
Does not sound too fun to be the receiver in the face.
You get used to it, Ryan. Oh, kill shot by number 11, Shannon Friend. Puts that ball down the line.
Gallipo was unable to get to it, so it will be 23-12 in this first set as we see a substitution with number 13 coming in the game. That is Carissa Marentes.
Yeah, 13 for 5. Servant specialist in for Isabel Thompson.
Nice set by Sexton, and great attack.
Madeline puts that ball right in the seam. See, the blockers for Santa Barbara should have sealed the net. That way that ball had no chance of getting on their side of the court. However, they did not. So that ball trickled in between their hands and the net, giving a point to the Moorpark Raiders.
Another substitution, number 10, Emily Sharp is coming in for number 4, Natalie O'Sullivan, and Sharp will be serving down 13-23.
Good serve by Emily Sharp. Got a set to the outside. Oh, number 11, Shannon Friend puts it down for Santa Barbara.
Cindy Norris was unable to get both hands on the ball, so it will go out of bounds after being touched by her, and it will be Vaquero. That would be Vaquero point, and this is actually set point at 24-13.
Right, Moorpark Raiders got to think about getting some energy into this next set.
As you say, getting some energy into this set, we just see an attack by number 8, Madison Wright, able to get another point for the Raiders.
Right. We've got Rebecca Sexton back to serve.
Score is now 14-24.
Good serve by Rebecca. Bump set to the middle back attacker.
Here comes the attack. There's Wright again, and it is in.
Wright is on fire right now. 2 kills in a row.
You called for a little bit of energy from this team, and it looks like Madison Wright is giving it.
She's supplying it. This is ideal right now for the Moorpark Raiders. They've got all 3 of their attackers front row. They've got 3 options. They've got their setter back row.
Sexton with the serve.
Back set. Shannon Friend hits it, but dug up by the Raiders.
That was a nice play.
Oh, that was very smart by Madison Wright. Just hits it right into the block, but those hands weren't pointed back into the court. Went out of bounds. Point Raiders. Excuse me, the head ref has overturned that play.
Yes.
Said that there was no touch on that ball. Point goes to Santa Barbara. It ends the set.
Yes, that is the end of the first set of action. The set ends with a 15-25 deficit from the Moorpark Raiders. So the Vaqueros will take this first set in the WSC Conference matchup. We will be back in just a bit from a message from our sponsors.
A firefighter's duty, fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises, demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved, eating fulfillingly flavorful firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses, steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not, because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. Let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are now here for second set action as the Moorpark Raiders lost the first set 25-15. They're looking to come back with this being the last game from head coach Steve Burkhart. They're looking to come back and possibly win this second set. They really need to win the second set because if you win 2 back-to-back sets, that just gives you all the momentum to win that third set.
Absolutely. Not what you want to see from the first set from the Moorpark Raiders. They've got a lot more to fight for than to go down 15-25. Hopefully we'll see a good response from them. I see some substitution changes. Excuse me, no substitution changes from Moorpark, but as we say here at Moorpark College, you've got to hold the rope, do your job, and be accounted for here.
Yes, and this once again is Ryan Ketchum, the play-by-play commentator, along with Torrin Perryclear, who is the color commentator analyst.
There we go. Big first point for the Moorpark Raiders. Middle attack by number, who is that? By the middle blocker from Moorpark College.
Yes, that's a great way to start it off. As we see, we have Madison Wright with the serve.
Dink shot over the top of the block. Outside set from Moorpark. Oh, Megan Conlon hits it off the outside hand of the opposite hitter.
Great attack.
Point. Sometimes all you got to do is point and shoot, and you'll get a kill.
You have to square up those shoulders.
Exactly. Aim high into the hands, nothing low into the block. That'd be embarrassing. Oh, wow.
And here comes a net violation. They stepped over the line and touched the net, so 2 violations right there. Line and net violation against the Vaqueros, so it will be Moorpark point. And there goes the attack, getting the Vaqueros the first point of this set. That was actually Andrulis.
There's the response. Santa Barbara got themselves out of a little rut here early in the second set. Float out of bounds by Santa Barbara, point to Moorpark.
That was number 6, Claire Bagdasar.
Number 1, Carly Young, back to serve from Moorpark College.
They're up 4-1.
Good pass by Santa Barbara.
And there goes a strong attack. Carly Young was unable to get to that one, unable to bump it up.
Isabel Thompson bounces it right down the line for Santa Barbara. We got a float serve by number 6, Claire Bagdasar. Excuse me, number 9, Kayleen Urena.
Sexton with the set.
We got a 5 attack by Cindy Norris. Outside set to Santa Barbara. Dink shot over the top of the block. Sexton with the outside set. Megan Conlon hits it out of bounds. Point to the Santa Barbara.
Great attack, unable to hit the hands of the blockers though, so as you did say, that will give a point to Santa Barbara.
We got a float serve inbound by number 9, Kayleen Ureno.
Vaqueros are down 3-4.
Set by number 1, the libero, Carly Young from Moorpark. Outside to number 15, Carolyn Angelis.
And Angelis, it was very uncommon for her to do this, but that attack that she just attempted, it was hit right into the net.
Right.
You did not see that.
She tried to go really hard angle. That's a tough shot to give. Coach would probably prefer to see her go a little bit more into the deep angle, give herself a little bit more room for error, but she was unable to do so on that hard angle shot.
As we see the ball hit the ground after a block from the Moorpark Raiders, which will give Vaqueros another point while they are up 5-4. This is Andrulis back to serve.
Deep float serve, oh, nicks the back line. Point to the Santa Barbara. You see Madison Wright dodging out of the way. Again, hoping to get a free point. Nothing's given free in this game. Everything's earned.
It seems like it's a hard job to be able to question if it's going out or not, especially with Madison Wright right there.
It's actually her job. She should have known. If she's going to get it wrong, that's the only thing she had to do. Pass that ball.
As we see another attack going out of bounds. So the point to the Raiders as they are up 6-5.
Number 3 in state, or excuse me, in her conference, Shannon Friend sends that long. Uncharacteristic of her. We've got number 2, Tyler Galipo, back to serve. In for Megan Conlon.
There goes the float serve.
Libero gives a great pass for Santa Barbara. Dink shot over the top of the block. Free ball for Moorpark. Oh, Natalie Sullivan hitting it at the right digger. Santa Barbara shanks that ball. Gives a point to Moorpark.
Yes, that was great positioning by O'Sullivan. She was able to hit it towards, I guess you could say, the weaker.
The weakest link.
Yeah, exactly. The weakest link.
Sometimes in volleyball, all you got to do is find out who's the worst at passing. give the ball to them.
Yes, and
Get you a point.
with Andrulis being one of the best in kills on the offensive end, that doesn't really result in a great defensive player.
Absolutely. Great dig by Carly Young. High into the middle of the court. Dink shot over the top of the block. Catches Santa Barbara off guard. Setter sends it over on 2. Interesting move.
O'Sullivan with the attack,
Sullivan
blocked.
Blocked straight down. Oh, wow. Number 8, Madison Wright, powers that ball through the block down on the Santa Barbara court side. Point Raiders.
Gives the Raiders another point, which they are up 8-5 right now, a 3-point lead in the second set.
They are building some steam. They're on the comeback. Float serve by Tyler Gallipo, puts it into the net. Point to Santa Barbara. That's something you don't want to do when your team's starting to build some momentum.
Yeah, service errors, it's almost something that shouldn't happen as much because you do serve every single game, every single practice. It should be something that usually goes over, but too much so often, you do see a lot of players getting service errors.
Exactly. Shannon Friend hits that one off the top of the block. Point to Santa Barbara. You're right. Service errors are something that no one likes. It's a 900 square foot box you have to put the ball in, so there is quite a big area you can serve the ball to. However, you want a tough serve, and not every serve is going to be in if it's tough, so service errors do happen.
True. You do want a great placement, as we see a great block by the Moorpark Raiders, which gives them another point and a 2-point lead in this second set as they are up 9-7.
Exactly. Number 4, Natalie O'Sullivan back to serve. Standing float serve, not the most aggressive, but gets it in. Set to the outside. Shannon Friend, high hands off the top of the block. Point to Santa Barbara.
Yes, she just gets it off of the blockers for the Moorpark Raiders, which deflects out of bounds for the point.
Exactly. Number 14, Kiana Pisula back to serve. Floats it to Madison Wright. And she has been passing dimes tonight. I haven't seen a shank pass out of her all night.
Yeah, she has been on target.
Nice dig by number 2, Tyler Gallipo. Oh, Rebecca Sexton.
That was a great play.
Sends it over, puts it over on 2, catches the Santa Barbara defense off guard, gets the point for Moorpark.
That is something that you see out of a developed setter, you know, developed player. As you mentioned, she was backup last year and then came to be the starter this year. That is something that you see develop from being that backup last year, watching that starting setter, you know, do what she does and then going out and doing it this year.
You're absolutely right. I have to mention Cindy Norris absolutely drills that ball down the line, giving a ton of energy from Moorpark. But yeah, it's definitely good to know when you're going to send the ball over on 2. You can't do it every time, then just be a free ball. But she saw that the defense wasn't paying attention, so she tried her luck and got the point.
Cindy Norris, as you mentioned, she's actually number 2 in kills, right behind Andrulis in the WSC.
Oh, wow. Shannon Friend sends that ball straight into Carly Young's hands, gets it up. However, it's on the Moorpark bench, so no point.
That is one of those scary plays that you mentioned, that 60-mile-per-hour ball coming right at your face. Carly Young embraced it and was able to get it up.
That's the love of the libero position. You're taking what everybody presumes to be the worst job. Everybody's sending 60-mile-an-hour balls to your face, and you're embracing it. And that's exactly what she did. She just couldn't deflect it up. Hard to be accurate when balls are zooming past you that fast.
Santa Barbara down 10-11 in this second set.
A little bit of miscommunication for the Raiders.
Great job of keeping it alive, though.
Free ball for Santa Barbara. Sends it to the outside. Hits it high. However, it's dug up by Moorpark. Oh, and the libero number 2, Santa Barbara for Moorpark. Gives a little dink shot over. And they send it long. Point to Moorpark. You usually don't see the libero take a jump and a swing for Moorpark. However, if they stay below the plane of the net being 7 feet 5 1/8 inch, then it is legal. So that is exactly what Carly Young did.
And they have an advantage right there with Carly Young only being 5'2".
Exactly, you know.
As we see the serve just going a little too long and giving the Vaqueros another point as they are down 11-12.
That is too bad. Oh. Little pass by Madison Wright. You want to get your passes high in volleyball, give the team to transition, get ready to hit, give the setter time to move to the ball. However, that pass is a little low, but it was to the center of the court, so she didn't she didn't mess up at both her jobs.
Speaking about the low passes, Carly Young actually was able to tip the ball up instead of Rebecca Sexton, as that setter is supposed to get the second ball. So with that low bump, that low hit coming right away, it did not allow Rebecca Sexton to be able to get under it.
Exactly. You're just giving a tough job to your setter. You know, you want to make the setter's job easy.
Young with the serve.
Middle attack by Santa Barbara, blocked by Moorpark. High set to the outside of Santa Barbara. Bumped up by Rebecca Sexton. Libero comes to set. Megan Conley gives a dink shot to Santa Barbara. Looking a little haphazardous, both teams right now. Not really getting a bump set and spike. Free ball for Santa Barbara, back set.
Great save by Carly Young. Actually, it wasn't that save, of course, because that was a campfire. But before that, great save by Carly Young. She has been all over the court in this second set in particular.
Absolutely. She's certainly holding the rope, doing her job. Manning down that libero position well. And we were too soon to speak as she shanks that pass. Oh, Nadia O'Sullivan going for a kill off the overpass. However, it's blocked by Santa Barbara. Point for Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara now has the lead in the second set, 14-13. This is a higher contested set, as we do see the scores so close.
That float sent long by Urano, point Moorpark. The score is, the score should be tied at 14-14. The scoreboard person made a mistake.
Yes, it should be 14-14 as we see Cindy Norris with the serve and a block by the Moorpark Raiders. That was Rebecca Sexton, and that was also Natalie O'Sullivan.
There it is, 15-13, Moorpark.
There we go. We're back on track.
Exactly. We want to make sure the girls get the points there. And
there goes attack by Andrulis.
Dug up by Madison Wright. Wow, Carly Young for her second attack attempt of the night.
Just floats a little too long, and it is out, so the Raiders will get the point as they're up 16-14.
Right, we've got Cindy Norris back to serve, but a timeout is taken by the Santa Barbara Vaqueros.
There will be a timeout, yes, at the score being 16-14. The Raiders have the lead in the second set. We will be back just in a few moments after a break and a word from our sponsors.
Let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are here for that second set coverage here at Moorpark College Raider Pavilion. The score is 16-14. Moorpark Raiders winning after they lost the first set at a score of 15-25.
Right. You just see the Santa Barbara head coach reprimanding his girls for not doing their jobs. Doesn't really look like anybody's looking to pass. Doesn't really look like the hitters are looking where they're swinging. Everybody's just kind of trying to take all the glory, not really act as a team here.
Yes, and you need to act as a team if you're going to win. And that's part of the reason why they are down by 2.
Exactly. Got a group of individuals, but we don't have a team. Cindy Norris, straight out the timeout, gets an ace serve. Shanked by number 9, Kayleen Urano.
It seems like the fans are really excited after that ace.
Fans are on fire. I'm loving it.
Yes, it is great, and these players are feeding off of them as there is a missed block, a deflection from Megan Conlon.
Yeah, Megan Conlon looking a little confused after getting tooled. She's got to take her left hand and curl it into the inside part of the court so that ball will hit the Santa Barbara court and get the point.
15-17, Santa Barbara just down as it goes out of bounds, the serve. So the Moorpark Raiders will now be up by 3, 18-15.
Great eye by Carly Young. That ball was out by just a nose hair. She lets it go by and gets the point for Moorpark. We've got number 2, Tyler Galipo, back to serve. Jump float. Another shank pass by Santa Barbara. Number 9, Kaylin Urino, just can't figure it out.
Wow, this is very uncharacteristic. You do not see this many shank passes, especially with how well Santa Barbara played in the first set.
Exactly, and you can see she gets subbed out by her coach, number 1, Olivia Garner, coming in to pass for Kayleen Ureno. Float serve by Tyler Gallipo. Bumps up to the outside. Bad set.
Great play there by Carly Young, able to dig it up.
Free ball chance for Santa Barbara. Low pass, chucks it up to the outside. Shannon Friend hits it hard, but it's dug up by Moorpark, but Maddie and Natalie just not connecting or communicating for that second ball.
It seemed like there were 3 players in the vicinity, but they were, as you said, not communicating, not trying to see whose ball that was actually to pick up.
Right. Tyler Gallipo, the pass. Hit into the block, but pounced up.
Good save by Norris.
Wow. Rebecca Sexton, she is smart. She just sent that ball over on 2 to the deep corner. Caught Santa Barbara off guard, gets the point.
And that was amazing placement.
That's one of those points as a coach you have to say is not okay. You should be able to get that free ball every time.
O'Sullivan with the serve.
Nice deep serve by Natalie O'Sullivan. Wow, Santa Barbara's really falling apart here in the second set. This Moorpark crowd is getting a little rowdy.
Yes, they are getting rowdy. This is great, especially since they're winning by 5 points in the second set after losing by 10. Up 21-16, O'Sullivan still back to serve.
Wow, and second timeout taken by Santa Barbara. They've got to figure things out for their team.
Yes, and we've seen this Moorpark Raiders team. They are just feeling, it almost looks like they're rejuvenized in this second set. What do you think this coach, of course, you've had a few experiences with Steve Burkhart, never actually being able to be coached by him, but what do you think he's saying to their team? What are you thinking he's trying to motivate their team with to go out there and play as fantastic as they have been in the second set?
Well, I can't get inside the mind of Steven Burkhart, but I do know he is a great motivator. He is known for just lighting a fire under these girls' butts and getting them to do what they need to do to win this ball game.
And it seems like he has lit a fire because they're just coming out here striking at all cylinders.
Exactly. You can see a smile on every girl's face. You just got to make sure right now, don't get too complacent. Even though you're up 5 points, this set is still anybody's to grab.
Yes, it is still anybody's to grab, especially with Moorpark still being 4 points away to winning this set. That means that the Vaqueros are only 9 points away, so it's not too comfortable of a margin, I guess you could say, from the Raiders.
Exactly. You still got to do your job, make sure you're getting points, giving good passes, hitting the ball hard in smart places. Got number 4, Natalie O'Sullivan, back to serve.
Of 21-16.
Nice pass by Santa Barbara, set to the outside. Hits it hard and into the hands of Natalie O'Sullivan, who shanks it to the sideline. Point to Santa Barbara.
Yes, that was a good attack by Friend, unable to get onto her from the Raiders, and that will result in another Vaquero point, 17-21. They are down.
Carly Young with the pass. Oh, and the slide approach from number 5. Taylor Brown gets the kill, hits off the high hands.
That was a beautiful slide approach. It seemed like she practiced that a lot, and she actually has a cast on her wrist, so she's basically playing with only one arm.
Yeah, she is toughing it out right now, playing through pain, as they call it. She is doing her team a service, and that ball is hit high into Taylor Brown's hands and onto the Moorpark side. Point to Santa Barbara.
That might be part of the reason why that block hit the ground. She may be overcompensating, not using her left hand as much.
It could be, certainly could be. Set to Cindy Norris. Oh, but the ref calls a double? Calls a double contact from the set. Apparently it wasn't clean enough for his liking. Point to Santa Barbara.
Now Santa Barbara's only down by 3, 19-22. So as you mentioned, that lead, it kind of slipped away fairly quickly.
It's shrinking, and it's shrinking fast. Oh, but serving to the net, extends it. Point Moorpark.
Yes, and now Moorpark just 2 points away from winning this set. As we see number 15 coming in the game for the Raiders, Megan Conlin, for number 2, Tyler Gallipo.
Exactly. It looks like the energy here is starting to get to these Santa Barbara players. It's not in their favor. It's hard to play away when there's so much support for the other team.
Yes, and that's why they have all 3 of their losses on the road.
Free ball for Santa Barbara. One set. Oh, and she catches Carly Young off guard. Tip shot over the block and down.
Carly Young, great. She has great enthusiasm, great energy out here, just unable to get to that ball, but she has been all over the place in this second set.
You can tell that invigorated her. What's she going to do next?
Yes, all great players will come back.
Wow. Megan Conlon annihilates that ball down the line. Point
Yes,
to Raiders.
that was an annihilation of that volleyball.
Might
It just
have popped.
shredded. Yeah, it definitely could have popped because she hit that one as hard as possible.
You know, big 6'2" on the outside. It's hard to put up a block against that, where she can just swing over you.
Yes, and here comes the set points as Carly Young serves 24-20 the score is.
Oh, wow. Little tool off the block, number 14, Kiana Pasula.
That was O'Sullivan and also Conlon trying to get the block. It just hit their hands and hit the ground, though, so it will be Vaquero points.
Pass by Maddie Wright, sends it back to Cindy Norris. Oh, good up by Carly Young. Gets that ball back in play. Pipe hit by Madison Wright. Middle set, off the block. Oh, Madison Wright was sliding as she realized the ball was going the other way. Couldn't get that thing up.
Almost like a goalie in soccer, how they need to kind of anticipate which way the ball is going to go, which way the ball is kicked. They kind of anticipate it so they go towards one direction. That's what Madison Wright was doing.
Exactly.
She went towards her left, but the ball went to her right. Unfortunate on that part. As we have a score of 24-22, what are you looking from the Raiders to close out this set? Because they did have that match point being up by about 5 points, but now it's only a 2-point lead.
Well, they're one side out of the way. All they've got to do is pass the ball on serve receive and get it to one of their offensive guns to get the point. I'd like to see them each one of the teammates do a better job of the positions, you know, setter putting up a fast, hittable ball, the passer's giving a nice high pass to not rush the setter. Maybe run a different play, like the slide approach the middle blocker was running earlier. For the folks who don't know, slide approach is when the middle blocker comes around behind the setter, takes off on 1 foot, and will hit over where the opposite hitter attacks. It usually catches the middle blocker off guard and opens up gaps in the block.
And that slide approach is just such a beautiful approach, as we saw number 5, Taylor Brown, actually did. She's the one with the cast on her left hand. She was just amazing at the slide approach. She actually has a few in this set alone.
Yeah, she's been very successful with it, too. She's gotten a lot of points for Moorpark, the slide.
Steal match point for Moorpark Raiders, 24-22. As it's blocked, and there's a campfire, so now it's 23-24 as the Vaqueros are just losing this matchup by 1.
Not a bad swing from Megan Conlon. She hit it high into the hands, but they were just pointed into the court, so it went down for Santa Barbara. That's tough when you give a good swing and you don't get the result that you wanted. Moorpark's just got to be extra vigilant and really just fight hard in these last few points of the second set.
Yes, now Moorpark Raiders, if they close out this set right here, right now, get that 25th point, they will have that momentum going into the third set. Of course, they will have to play a 4th set now if they do win, because it's the best out of 5. But that going into that third set, how important is it going into the third set with that momentum on your side?
Yeah, especially 1-1. Third set is anybody's set. You know, both teams are pinned head-to-head. It's anybody's set. We've got number 9 back to serve for Santa Barbara, Kayleen Urena.
Just down 23-24.
Good float serve. Nice pass by Madison Wright.
O'Sullivan with the little tap.
Oh, that would invigorate me as a coach of Santa Barbara. Little dink shot over the top of the block, hits the floor for Moorpark. Sometimes that's all it takes, you know, in a big moment like this when everybody's got their nerves tensed. Just something that they're not expecting, you know, as easy as it may be.
Yes, and O'Sullivan was able to catch them off guard as the Moorpark Raiders win the second set 25-23. So the set score, the match score stands at 1-1 in this WSC matchup between 2 rivals. So we will be back from a word from our sponsors in just a bit for the start of the third set of action.
A firefighter's duty, fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises, demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved, eating fulfillingly flavorful firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses, steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not, because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We are now here for the third set of action between the Moorpark Raiders and Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros. My name is Ryan Ketchum once again, next to Torrin Perryclear.
There you go.
We are here for...
That's the name.
Yes, we are here for this nice matchup. This is that third set, which they are tied 1-1, so this should be very exciting.
Moorpark gets the point off of a double contact, I believe, from Santa Barbara. Got float serve coming inbound from number 8, Madison Wright.
Now those last two, excuse me,
Let's
as we just see a great, wow.
Ace serve by Madison Wright. She is on, and you see the ace card pulled up by the Moorpark men's volleyball team. They've got posters and whatnot supporting their Lady Raiders.
Madison Wright, if you already forgot this statistic, she is number 9 out of all of the junior colleges, community college in Southern California. No, just in all California, in service aces per set.
And we've got a huge monster stuff block by number 15, Megan Conlon, just lighting this offense from Moorpark on fire. Got the serve inbound. Sends it long, but the damage has been done. 3-1 Raiders.
Yes, that is a great start. And as we saw, the second set, when Moorpark Raiders get that first point up on the board, the second set they won. The first set, they did not get the first point up on the board.
Exactly. It's just a domino effect, you know? Whoever can steal the most points in one run, that's how these games are won. Good hit by Megan Conlon. It was like 15 feet off the net. That's a tough swing. Passed up by Rebecca Stenson to the libero, Carly Young.
A good back and forth action between both teams right now.
Great rally. Nice bump pass by Cindy Norris. And Megan Conlon powers that thing through the seam, down for a point for the Moorpark Raiders.
Conlon with an amazing kill right there. That was that was great placement as well.
That would excite me if I was playing in this game.
Score being 4-1 in favor of the Raiders.
Tough serve by Carly Young, goes cross court. Oh, little confusion from Moorpark. Net violation from Moorpark, point to Santa Barbara.
Yes, another net violation against them. They have had net violation almost after net violation. And the first set, it was basically, I think they had 2 or 3 net violations, and now another one to start this one off.
And that's just sloppy volleyball play. You've got to clean that up. Sent long by number 9, Kaylee Ureno for Santa Barbara. Point goes to Moorpark.
5-2, the score stands as we see Cindy Norris, number 16, out to serve.
Cindy Norris serves the libero, who shanks it, gets the point for Moorpark. These Raiders seem unstoppable at this point.
A lot of shanking going on, especially by Santa Barbara. They are unable to catch all of these serves. They are unable to dig it up.
These aren't tough serves. They're just consistent. And Cindy is just terrorizing Santa Barbara serve-receive with her float serve.
And it's actually surprising because the libero that is unable to actually dig these balls up. That is, you know, the job of the libero. They are supposed to be that defensive specialist.
You can see her shaking her head. It's her job to get that ball passed to the setter. Wow, and she actually goes outside. Hopefully she's all right.
Score being 7-2 as we see another shank.
This time number 9, Kayleen Urano. That's almost 5 consecutive shanks for the Santa Barbara defense.
Wow.
That's a lot of points.
Yes, that is a lot of points, and it seems like Santa Barbara needs to take a timeout as they start 8-2. 8-2. That is an amazing start.
That's really tough to come back from. You can see the most interesting man in the world faces being shook in the crowd. This audience is lively, to say the least.
Yes, they are very lively, and as we mentioned, that winner of the second set, going into the third set with that momentum is just so, it makes them pumped up. It is so important to go into that third set with momentum, either if you're being up 2-0 sets or you're being up 1-1. It's all a tie, but you are almost like being up if you are 1-1 and you have that momentum going to the third set because you have everything going for you. You just won the set, especially if you're also at your home, just like Moorpark is. You have that basically lead going into it, even though it doesn't reflect on the scoreboard. You have the lead because you're going in with all of that coming after you.
Absolutely. Cindy back into serve. You start to think, if you've got so much momentum in the third set, is this going to be a 4-set game? Can we win 3 games from the second set, close this thing out?
It seemed like that last shank almost went up and made a basket.
That was 2 points. That is legal as long as it goes up, hits whatever ceiling ornament you have, and comes back down on your side. If it goes back on the opponent's side, however, it's a point for the other team.
A good rally going on between both of these teams.
Great rally. We've got a set to the outside for Santa Barbara.
And that was the girl.
That was the girl, number 15, Caroline Angelis, who was such an offensive whip earlier in the first set. Finally see some kills from her in this set.
Yes, and Drulis leading the league, of course, we mentioned. Actually, excuse me, not the league, leading the conference in kills.
The Northern Conference, right. Now she's back to serve. Carly Young handles her serve. Got a slide from Natalie O'Sullivan, who nicks the back corner, gets the point for the Moorpark Raiders.
Great placement.
It's always a smart shot going for the deep corners. No defense is prepared for those corners.
As we've seen in that second set, there was a nice shot by Natalie O'Sullivan in the deep corner as well. So she is very adept at hitting those shots.
Absolutely, and it looks like we've got a kill tally for the Moorpark Raider offensive players by the Moorpark men's volleyball players. That's great to see in support. Oh, looks like Santa Barbara's playing a little ping pong on their side of the net. Trying to get the ball over. Oh,
great play by Sexton. Does it again, the second time tonight.
There's that volleyball IQ. She's just terrorizing the Santa Barbara defense with her free balls. Over on 2. Gets the point for Moorpark. We're at 10-3 in favor of Moorpark here at Raider Pavilion.
Yes, and being up 10-3 in the third set, that is very important as Gallipo is still back to serve. And as you mentioned, they do have a kill count going. And I think they also have an ace count going as well.
Ooh. She sends it long, not by much, but sends it long. If she go cross court with that serve, it would be a great serve, but looks like she's not going for that kind of serve here.
It's all about placement and those serves, as we see. O'Sullivan with a great attack, but it is blocked, and Gallipo is unable to get to that one.
You can see Stephen Burkhart reprimanding his girls, swinging straight into the block and hoping for a point. Ooh, that float serve could have just been in, but went long. Lucky point here for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell if it's going to hit past that back line or not.
Number 4, Natalie O'Sullivan back to serve. Good serve. Pass to the net. See what Santa Barbara can do.
Great placement with that attack, unable to get it. That's Gallipo.
Number 14, Kiana Pasula with that kill. Didn't hit it hard, but hit it in the right spot. Made Gallipo fall and not be able to get the dig.
Sometimes those soft attacks are just all that you need. As we see, right when we said soft attacks, they come right back here and just do the most powerful attack you've seen all tonight.
Maddie Wright smashes that ball through the block, gets the point for Moorpark.
12-6, they're winning this matchup. That's the Moorpark Raiders.
Ooh, good float serve by Rebecca. Oh, Moorpark College block gets that ball. Setter is out, Ribero's setting.
great attack.
Cindy Norris puts the Moorpark Raiders in a good spot. Free ball attempt for Moorpark. One set, gets the ball down. Number 5, Taylor
Yes, that's Brown. Brown's been doing it all tonight, and she just shows again why she's a great player, not only with enduring all that pain from her wrist, but also just sacrificing that out there and being able to get the attack.
Right. It's interesting to note that another middle blocker from the Moorpark, let's see her name. Another middle blocker for Moorpark is out with a wrist injury for the season. Looks like the Moorpark Raider middle blockers have some bad luck with the wrists for whatever reason.
Another violation against the Raiders will give the Vaqueros another point. It seems like there is a little bit of miscommunication between the referees, though. It seems like Steve Burkhardt is very livid.
Official review in process right here.
Yes, first time we've seen an official review tonight. And while they are actually discussing it, we will be right back from a moment with our sponsors.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trap beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
All right, now we are back. As we've seen, they did have an official review, and the point did go to the Vaqueros.
Right. There was some discrepancies between Moorpark head coach Stephen Burkhardt and the head referee. We had Stephen Burkhardt speaking like a sailor, quite invigorated. But the Moorpark Raiders get the point out of the bad call. Madison Wright got her deadly serve back there at the service line.
Yeah, she's ready to get another ace.
Powerful float serve. Shank pass by Santa Barbara. One set. Little dink shot over the top. Free ball for Santa Barbara. Ooh, and they send it long by Justin Nosehair. Point for Moorpark.
Yes, a great call by the referees. I thought they would call that a tipped ball right there, but there was a good call, and they did not say it was tipped, so it will be Moorpark point.
Right, that's a good call by them. The margin for error was very small, but ultimately Santa Barbara did miss that kill shot.
As we see a service error, which is very
uncharacteristic for Madison Wright. She is usually a service whip. However, you can't get aces on them all.
True.
Good pass by Madison Wright. Set to Cindy Norris. High, hard, and deep hit from Cindy Norris. Dug up by Santa Barbara. Ooh, nasty set by the setter for Santa Barbara. She had a double contact and perhaps even a lift on that ball.
Yeah, so it will be Raider point as we see Carly Young
Nothing
going
was
back to
kosher
serve.
about that set. Yeah, Carly Young back to set, or to serve, excuse me. Middle attack, tipped back over by Moorpark. We got a set to the outside. Oh.
And a double hit by O'Sullivan.
Right. Got smashed in between her block and the net, then she popped it up with her hand. However, I believe it touched her torso, some other body part before she touched it. See, they can touch the ball off the block and with the pass, but if it touches 3 times, then it is a point for the other team.
Yes.
Good pass by the libero for Santa Barbara.
Great block as well.
Wow, number 14 for Santa Barbara lets that ball drop. Rachel Reed. Excuse me, not Rachel Reed, Kiana Pasula. You can just see the nerves getting to the Santa Barbara girls. They're not communicating with each other. Just a mess out there.
Norris with the serve and is just a little too deep.
Another good call by the ref. I think the wind draft took that one long.
Vaqueros will get the point as they are just down 10-17 in the third set.
Good pass by Carly Young. Set over by Rebecca Sexton.
Sexton tried to do it for the third time, but was unsuccessful in this one.
Ooh.
As we see another net violation.
Megan Conlon kind of dove into the net on that one. That's always dangerous. You know, these players are playing literally inches away from each other in the net, and one wrong jump, you know, you can land in another player, you know, twist an ankle, dislocate a knee. It is dangerous.
As we see Conlon going back at it again with an attack, but it is out of bounds, so it will be Vaquero points.
Moorpark still has a lead here. It's 17-12. However, it may not be as comfortable as it was before. We've got number 13, Carissa Mertens, back to serve for Santa Barbara. She hasn't played in the match until this set. Ooh, Megan Conlon puts that ball into the net. At this point, if I were Rebecca Sexton, I would disown her as a hitter, set everyone else at all costs, because she has not produced at this point.
Yes, Conlon has to get back up to her game. I bet you she will. She is number 4 in kills in the WSC and number 3 in kills per set. So she should come back up. She should redeem herself. As we see, Steve Burkhardt is just trying to get a little bit fire set underneath these girls to go back out there and continue to keep this lead up and win this third set. If they do win this third set, then they are up 2-1 going into the final set.
Exactly, and knowing him, he will have something of worth to say to these girls that should motivate them to get this next point. Volleyball is a game of errors, and you make one too many. You could get a timeout called, you could get pulled outside the game. It's nerve-wracking as a player out there.
This would be nerve-wracking, and Steve Burkhardt, he's such a passionate coach, trying to get them to do the right things.
Absolutely, you know. Everyone's got to do their job out there on the court. Float serve. Gotten up by Carly Young, but wasn't the best pass. Good dig by Santa Barbara. Sets the D ball. Nice pass by Cindy Norris.
Here comes
Conlon.
Conlon.
Outside, gives a tip shot. Oh, but they're just scooped up by the off blocker. Oh, number 11, Shannon Friend, puts that ball in the deep corner right between Madison Wright and Carly Young. It's a job as the back row defense to overlap, while you have the wing diggers go in front of the middle back player.
Down 14-17. Santa Barbara with the serve.
There it is. Natalie O'Sullivan, the one set in the middle, puts it down, gets Moorpark out of this rut.
And there was just 2 back-to-back handfires from both teams. Unable to have great communication to be able to get to that dig, to be able to dig it up.
Absolutely. You could see the Moorpark Raiders in the earlier points looking a little nervous, a little apprehensive, but looks like they've gotten out of that mindset.
There goes O'Sullivan.
Oh, wow.
It just bounced off of Vaquero after Vaquero after Vaquero until it hit the ground.
Shank after shank until it was a Moorpark point.
Yes, and now they're up 19-14 as Gallipo is back to serve.
Absolutely. She's got a tough jump float back there. She's being put in as a defensive specialist, but also a serving specialist for Megan Conlon.
Here goes the attack by Friend.
Friend. That was not friendly. She hammered that one on the line.
Yeah, she is not too much of a friend of Moorpark Raiders right now with how well she's been playing.
No friend of mine.
15-19, down just by 4. Santa Barbara serving.
Good pass by Tyler Gallipo. Sent to the outside. Ooh. Wasn't a bad swing from Madison Wright, but she went to the line. She would have hit that ball more angle. It probably would have gone into the court, but hit out of bounds.
Yes, just a little bit too much air under that one.
Exactly. Wind took it long.
Now just down by 3 in the third set.
Ooh.
And another campfire. Seemed like O'Sullivan and Norris were trying to talk to each other, trying to see which one would get the ball, but another campfire.
Exactly. That ball was, it wasn't shanked, but it was gotten up near the 30-foot line by Tyler Gallipo, and then the miscommunication that followed. Not something good you want to see when the game's this close, 19-17. Ooh. And that's a free point there for the Raiders. Number 2, Hannah Cantrell, first appearance in this game, sends that ball long.
And it seemed like they had a little bit of momentum going for Santa Barbara, of course, with those serves, but just cut shy with that shank serve.
And you can see from the Santa Barbara coaching staff that they're really not sure who's going to give the best performance there with all these substitutions, all these girls that are probably freshmen that have yet to have a starting position on this team are being tried out in these positions. And They're really just hoping who's going to give the best performance right now. They don't know.
And as you mentioned, Santa Barbara, they only have 4 sophomores on the team.
Exactly. Moorpark certainly has more sophomores than Santa Barbara. Rebecca Sexton back to serve, score 21-18.
Here comes an attack from Friend, but it's blocked by Norse.
And that's what we call a roof in volleyball. The block puts that ball straight down. Point for the Moorpark Raiders.
As we see, the Moorpark Raiders, they actually have 10 sophomores on their team. So as you mentioned, a lot more sophomores, 4 to 10 in the sophomore count for Moorpark. They do have a lot more experience on the team, and they do have a lot more leadership from that experience.
Absolutely. They're definitely smarter as players. They're more mature as players, and it's really starting to show when the games come down to the line like this, 22-18 in the third set.
Yeah, in the third set, Moorpark Raiders definitely need this one because with that crowd being at home, they will definitely be able to win that fourth set just from momentum alone, just from seeing Steve Burkhardt in his last game. They need this right now.
Absolutely. It's a life or death for these girls and Steven Burkhardt. They've got to make their coach proud and realize why they're fighting for this win.
Yeah, especially on sophomore night, they want to be able to show out as much as possible.
This isn't looking good for Santa Barbara, though. All of their wins have been sweeps, 3 sets to none. And so far, they've lost a set, and they're already in the third set of the match, and they are down. And
mentioning that they have a 7-3 record on the road, which all their losses this season have been on the road, since
Absolutely.
They have a 21-3 overall record.
Wow, big hit, but a big block. Roll shot inbound for Santa Barbara.
Great play by Sexton, able to dig that one up.
Free ball for Santa Barbara. Gotten up by Moorpark. Cindy Norris, 5 attack. Gotten up, but shanked to the sideline. And sent long by number 14, Kiana Pasula for Santa Barbara. That point goes to Moorpark.
I thought that was going to be a free ball for Moorpark, but that little, I guess you could say, hit just went a little too far.
The trajectory was off. Sent that ball past the 30-foot line.
23-18, Raiders in the lead.
Good pass from Santa Barbara.
Friend.
Back set. Friend, but dug up by Cindy Norris. Put tight to the net by Santa Barbara. However, number 9, Kayleen Ureno reached over the net and tipped that ball down. That is not allowed in volleyball. That ball has to cross the plane of the net before it becomes legal to touch.
And here we go. This is set point, 24-18. Raiders winning this one by 6.
Let's hope so.
Here comes Friend once again.
Ooh, Friend looking a little apprehensive, just dinking it over the block. However, gets the point because Carly Young was being a little aggressive, stepped into the middle backs territory, and shanked that ball.
Down 19-24, Friend with the serve.
Ooh.
Free ball.
Raiders looking a little rough. Bad pass by Megan forces a save by Cindy Norris, and Rebecca Sexton free-balled that ball out of bounds.
Score is 24-20 now.
Hard hit by Cindy Norris.
Nice save by Sexton after the Friend hit.
Taylor Brown chucks that ball up and into the antenna. Point for Santa Barbara. And Steven Burkhardt takes a timeout here. It's a smart move on his part because these girls are looking a little heated.
And as you mentioned, you should never really be comfortable with your lead. They were up 24-18 at set point. They had the serve, and now it's 24-21.
And quite frankly, Ryan, I think you were a little comfortable with the lead. 24-18, got this set in the bag, not so fast. There's only a 3-point deficit right now for the Santa Barbara Vaqueros.
Yes, they need to be able to come out here with Steve Burkhardt giving them some words of wisdom to be able to come out and win this set. Of course, this will still be a set point for the next few points if they are not able to actually get this next point.
And you can see the error tally by the men's volleyball team for the Santa Barbara Vaqueros. We've got, let's see, 32 errors on the Santa Barbara part. That is a number, something that no coach should be okay with.
Yes, 32 errors, that is definitely not something you want to see, especially with a matchup between a conference rival, as we see Friend with the serve.
Deep serve handled by Cindy Norris. And Madison Schrock bangs that ball into the block and is put down.
Yes, Madison Wright is able to get the final point that the Raiders needed. Now the Raiders are going up 2-1 going into the fourth set as they just win this one 25-21. So we will be back with fourth set coverage in just a bit.
A firefighter's duty, fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises, demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved, eating fulfillingly flavorful firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses, steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not, because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. Let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
I remember the moment clearly,
I'll never forget that moment.
as long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trap beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Hello everybody, welcome back. This is now the fourth set of action between the Northern Western State Conference teams that are the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros and the home team, the Moorpark Raiders.
Moorpark Raiders, I believe they have the serve here in the fourth set. They're in a good position, 2 sets up to 1.
This once again is Tori Perry-Clear and, Torin Perry-Clear. I don't know why I said Tori there. I think I was thinking of one of the players out there, but Torin Perry-Clear and Ryan Ketchum out for this coverage.
Absolutely. Excuse me, Santa Barbara back here to serve, number 17. Number 17 not on the roster, interesting.
Here comes Sexton on the set.
Ooh, little flea flicker over the block. Puts it into Libero's hands, and she shanks it. Point for the Raiders.
And here comes in Hillary Bean, number 10, from the Vaqueros. As the Raiders, they get the first point once again. And as we saw the second and third set, they both got, the Raiders got in both of those sets that first point. And now they got the first point once again in the fourth set. They won second and third sets. So this is a good sign for the Raiders to start it off.
Absolutely. It could be argued that the first point of any set is the most important. Gives good energy and momentum for the team. Referee called a double contact on that last play. Can't say I agree with him, but when you're up 2-1, you're probably not going to get the calls to go your way.
Sexton with the nice save.
Great dig. Great set by Carly Young. Good high, hard hit by Cindy Norris. Oh, number 9. Kaylin Urano puts that ball on the bottom tape. That was embarrassing. Point for the Raiders.
Yes, they were able to get that point. once again, as we see number 1, the libero, Carly Young, going back to serve this one, winning 2-1 in the 4th set.
Good serve by Carly Young. Serves it corner to corner. And a dime pass by Carly Young. Ooh, Nadia O'Sullivan hits that ball into the block, but dug up by number 15, Megan Conlon.
Carly Young able to get a nice dig to set it over to the other side.
Oh, wow. Free ball opportunity for Santa Barbara. They're outside number 15. Carolyn Angelos hits that ball right in the block. Gives the point to Moorpark.
And great block by O'Sullivan. Able to rise up on that one. That's number 4.
Absolutely, especially after hitting the ball directly in the block earlier in the play. And that ball hit long by number 9, Kaylin Ureno. You can tell that she's starting to kind of overthink herself here. Hits one ball into the tape, hits one ball long.
Yes, it just sailed a little bit too much.
Can't figure it out here in the 4th set.
Yes, and this 4th set starting off very quickly. 4-1 for the Moorpark Raiders. This is definitely the way that you want to start, and this will be the last set if they are able to come out with this victory.
Like I said, nothing's given here, only earned. We can only hope for a win here in the 4th set. But with this much energy and this much support, it's really hard not to do well here at Raider Pavilion.
Yes, and speaking about the support, I see even some of the football guys here in the stands. We have Jordan Flack, number 43. We have Christian Hill Saunders, number 47. Isaiah Johnson, number 23, just to name a few of the football players in attendance. So as we mentioned in pregame, with not just the different genders of a sport supporting each other, but all sports on campus supporting each other. And those are some of the main players from Moorpark football, some of the, I guess you can say, MVPs of the team that are coming out and supporting women's volleyball.
Absolutely. You know, support is not unique within a sport. It was unique within a school. And that's what separates everybody apart from Moorpark College.
Conlon with the attack, bounces off a few of the Vaqueros for the points to the Raiders.
Hits that ball through 2 sets of hands. That's what you'd call a power shot.
And that did have a lot of power behind that shot. No wonder why they have that name. 5-1, the score stands for the Raiders. Carly Young once again back to serve.
Carly Young, tough serve, goes angle to angle. On the 2 ball, looks like Santa Barbara's trying something new, didn't work. Oh, Cindy Norris smashes that ball into the block, bounces right back in her face. Looks a little peeved after that one. Number 9, Kaylin Ureno back to serve. Let's see if she can do some damage from the service line.
Santa Barbara down 2-5 in the 4th set. Conlon with the attack.
Conlon hits that ball into the tape. Didn't actually touch the fingers of the block, so it was ruled 4 contacts. Point to Santa Barbara.
Now with the lead only being 5-3. Santa Barbara serving.
Can never get complacent in this game.
O'Sullivan trying to hit it over, but it is knocked back again to the Raiders, which is a 4th hit, just like the play before.
A lack of connection, a lack of communication. It's really letting these Santa Barbara Vaqueros to catch up here in the 4th set. Ooh, shank pass by Madison Wright. Uncharacteristic. Ooh, that could have been ruled a lift, but the head ref didn't see it my way. Dump by number 14, Kiana Pisula.
Pisula just took a page out of Sexton's book, Rebecca Sexton. She did that the whole entire game, the whole entire match, every single set. She has had one, and there goes Pisula taking one out of that page.
Right, and it is most common to see the other setter dump after they see their opponent setter dump. Becomes a dump off, I guess, in volleyball.
Well, right now there has just been 2 back-to-back campfires as we saw in the 2nd set, so a little bit of miscommunications on both teams.
Got a jump float by Cindy Norris. Score 6-5 here at Raider Pavilion. 4 contacts by Santa Barbara.
No line violation on the play, but it still goes Moorpark's way.
We got a float serve again by Cindy Norris. She's being very consistent back there at the service line, making her serve. Free ball pass by Cindy Norris, outside to Megan Conlon. Hits the ball down the line and ruled in by the line ref. The head referee agrees. Point for the Raiders.
Conlon just shredded that one, hit it in the smallest of windows possible, and it looked like Santa Barbara City College coach was not too happy about that
wow. And Cindy Norris gives a little dance after she gets that ace serve off the tape.
An ace and a campfire in the same serve.
Same point. Great observation,
Yeah, same
Ryan.
point. 9-5, Raiders winning.
Another tough float, handled well by Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara with a hard hit. Megan Conlon chucks that ball up, playing it safe.
That was a great save to not hit the net.
Oh, wow. Santa Barbara is just getting owned here by the Moorpark Raiders. Number 14, Kiana Pasula, tries to put that ball over out of her own safety, and Moorpark puts the block right on that ball.
And that was a great job by Megan Conlon. She was almost like all-star center for the Denver Nuggets, Atlanta Hawks, and the National Basketball Association. He will actually be inducted into the Hall of Fame. His name's Dikembe Mutombo. You probably know him for some of his Geico commercials where he smacks all of these things. He blocks all of these items out of shopping carts even. But in his NBA career, he was known for blocking shots, and he would have this little trademark, no, no, no. That's how he would say it. And he would do a little finger wag, and that's what Megan Conlon did with that vicious block to get that point.
She'll have to trademark that one at the end of this game.
Yes, she'll have to trademark it in her own type of way to not steal Mutombo's thunder,
Exactly.
but to display her own thunder.
Get copyright infringement from that.
Moorpark coming out after this timeout, winning this 4-set, 10-5.
Again, looking strong here for the Moorpark Raiders. Everything seems to be going their way. However, their 5-point lead quickly shrink if they let up.
Yes, they did have an early lead of 4-1, and then that shrunk again, and now they have a big lead of 10-5, which is a 5-point lead. So hopefully it will not shrink as much as it did last time.
Tough offense by the Santa Barbara Vaqueros. Wow. And number 2, Hannah Cantrell, just takes a swing of faith, puts that ball into the seam, and somehow gets the point. Point to Santa Barbara.
Now down 6-10, Santa Barbara serving.
Number 15, Caroline Andrulis back to serve. Good serve, handled well by Carly Young.
O'Sullivan.
Sullivan smashes that ball to the deep corner. Gets the point from Moorpark.
Great job by Natalie O'Sullivan, number 4. She's a 5'10" sophomore middle blocker, and just annihilated that one for the point.
You don't have to hit the hardest or jump the highest. You just got to know where to put the ball to get the point.
Yes,
That's exactly what she did.
11-6, Raiders in the lead.
Dump shot by number 14, Kiana Pasula. Smart move by her part. Gets the point for the Vaqueros.
Pasula did it again where she took that page out of Sexton's book. It has been working for her in this in this 4th set.
That's one way to get better at the game. Learn from your opponents. Shank pass by number 2, Tyler Galipo. Good save by Madison Wright. Hits the dink shot right into the campfire. Point for the Raiders.
Yes, great job. Great placement, getting another Raider point as they are in a little run right now. O'Sullivan with the serve. Friend gets the attack, but
Great
Galipo.
dig by Galipo. Good high hard hit by Madison Wright. She is really careering right now. She is just taking off, making her stat sheet known.
Yes, she is a stat sheet stuffer tonight.
Normally before, she was only at a 149 hitting percentage, which isn't bad for an outside hitter. Usually an outside hitter, your role is to keep the ball in play and make the smart moves that keep the ball in favor for your team. However, you might not get the kill, which won't show up on the stat sheet. But she's taken all the glory tonight.
Great save by O'Sullivan.
Set to the outside for Santa Barbara. Oh, that's a tough one. Shannon Friend hits it high into the block, goes straight up, right over the 2 blockers. However, they don't know where the ball is. All they have to do is one of their teammates shout ball so they can figure out where that thing is and get it up, but it hits the floor.
Yeah, they were looking all over the place to try to find it, but it was able to hit the ground before they were able to find where it went.
There's that beach shot from Madison Wright, number 8.
Galipo unable to get the dig.
Gives a good dive for her team nonetheless, making sure she's putting out a full effort on the court.
Down 9-13. Here comes Santa Barbara City College with the serve.
Ooh, number 5, Taylor Brown smashes that ball. through the Santa Barbara defense. Point Raiders.
And that was her patented, that almost sideways 1 foot attack.
Absolutely, the slide attack. As we were
that
talking
slide
about
attack
earlier.
was amazing. Great block right there by Brown, coming back from the slide attack to get a block. 2 straight points for Brown.
And number 11, Shen Friend, who hit that ball into the block. She has got no excuse. That was a perfect set by number 14, Kiana Pasula.
15-19, Raiders in the lead. Friend with another attack. Great pancake, though.
Third attack attempt from Carly Young. This time it's called by the head ref. Good call on his part. I believe that it was getting a little out of hand with all the attack attempts from the libero.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, set a standard for the game, set a control pace for the game if you're the head ref.
Exactly. Got to set a precedent.
Free ball for the Raiders. Brown.
Oh, wow, great Oh. I thought that was a good defensive attempt by Santa Barbara. They got that ball up just barely, and 3 contacts shuffled over to Moorpark's side. However, the head ref had called a lift on the final contact, giving the point to the Moorpark Raiders.
Now the Raiders are winning by 6 points in the 4th set, 16-10. Right with the serve.
Great pass.
Another free ball, and Sexton.
Oh, she is stealing the glory, and she is on fire, shouting and screaming in every which way.
With her doing that, she basically said, Pasula, I was the one that was the owner of the book. You just stole the page, so this is why I'm the owner of the book.
There's only one setter in this gym, and it's Rebecca. Oh, can't have all the glory. She ball hit hard down the line into Rebecca's lap, but she shanks it to the sideline. Point for Santa Barbara. 17-11 here at Raider Pavilion in favor of the Raiders.
Santa Barbara just losing by 6 points in the 4th set.
Got a tough float serve from Santa Barbara. Rebecca sets the outside. Whoa, Megan Conlin smashes that ball into the block. Point goes to Santa Barbara.
Now they are just down 12-17. It's a 5-point deficit, a lot closer than what the Moorpark Raiders would like.
Bad pass by Maddie Wright. Raiders salvage it and get the ball over. Free ball for the Santa Barbara Vaqueros.
There goes Brown.
Wow.
Good save, though. There goes another attack, but great save by Conlin.
Oh, wow. Cindy Norris absolutely puts that ball away. Point goes for the Moorpark Raiders. And this could be a 4-set ball game, folks. Don't want to speak too soon, but there is some momentum that the Moorpark Raiders have.
As we have Carly Young ready to serve, number 1, the libero.
Oh.
Young shanks it with the set, trying to keep it alive, so it will hit the ground and it will be Vaquero point.
Not a bad attempt by Carly Young. She did get her hands underneath it, but just had too much pepper on it. Oh, shank pass by number 15, Megan Conlin. You can see why they take her out back row and substitute number 2, Tyler Galipo. She isn't as defensively strong as some of the other players from Moorpark.
Young with the bump up.
Great dig by Santa Barbara. Rebecca sets the outside, and Megan powers it through. Bumped up by Santa Barbara. Number 15, Carolyn Andrulis with the kill attempt. However, the ball is still live. Oh. Carly Young getting a little too cute with that free ball. Sends it out of bounds.
Yes, Young was unable to place it where she wanted to, and now Santa Barbara City College, they are coming back in this 4th set, only down by 3 points as they were down by 6 points just a few moments ago.
Yeah, they are on their way back, 18-15. It is nothing is given, only earned here at Raider Pavilion. Moorpark has to keep fighting until the end of this set. Hopefully they can get another run going, a couple point streaks to be had. You can see the Santa Barbara head coach just talking his girls through some of the aspects of the game. I'm sure they can improve communicating with each other and better passing and whatnot. However, he doesn't seem as angered as before. Before he seemed like he was expecting a little bit more. Now he just seems like he's trying to work with his girls.
Sometimes when you're a leader or a position like a coach where you have authority, you need to sometimes be calm. And that's some of the most assertive way of approaching a team is to be calm, not showing fear, not showing that you're afraid that you're going to lose this match, but showing confidence in your calmness.
Exactly, a little bit of passive dominance. He's trying to be his team's friend right now, not trying to make them feel like they're on opposing sides.
Number 9, Kayleen Urano is in to serve for the Vaqueros as they are down 15-18, 3-point game.
Big swing and a miss by number 15, Megan Conlon. Point goes to Santa Barbara.
Conlon has so much power that it was just a little too powerful on that one. She put a little too much mustard on that dog.
Said well by Ryan Ketchum.
Sexton with the nice save.
Roll shot. Whoa, and Carly Young getting that ball up.
A little rally going.
Outside. And Nadia O'Sullivan hits that ball off the edge of the block. Goes down for a point for the Raiders.
Great job by O'Sullivan, able to put it where she wanted it. She was able to get it in the right placement, hit the ground, and another point for the Raiders as they are up 19-16.
Absolutely, she's got great placement and good touch on the ball. Oh, that's a tough, wow.
It looked like that was a free ball for the Vaqueros, but they tried to tip it right back over, but instead of tipping it over, they hit the net.
Exactly, what was gonna be an error for Carly Young actually turned into a kill.
Good save.
Free ball attempt here from Moorpark. Wow, Rebecca starting to feel herself a little too much. Sends that ball over on 2. Quickly recepted by the Santa Barbara defense.
And another error.
Hannah Cantrell puts that ball into the net for the Santa Barbara Vaqueros. Point goes to Moorpark. We are at 21-16 in favor of the Raiders here at Raider Pavilion.
Yes, with a 5-point lead in the 4th set, only 4 more points to go for the victory. Of course, they still need to stay calm and play their style of volleyball.
Serve by number 16, Cindy Norris. Free ball attempt from Moorpark.
O'Sullivan, no good.
No good. On the slide approach, she was swinging for the fences. Swing right into the block. That ball hit the floor. Point goes to Santa Barbara.
Friend is back in, number 11 for Santa Barbara City College.
Absolutely. They're still trying different subs out here. Cindy Norris caught off guard by that float serve. Point goes to the Vaqueros. 21-18 here in favor of the Raiders.
Only a 3-point lead for the Raiders.
It is small. You can hear the support from the Moorpark Raiders.
O'Sullivan with the attack, just out of bounds, a little too far left. Actually hit the coach in the leg, the assistant coach.
Exactly. There's some rivalry right there. If you can't hit the court, hit the coach.
That's always a way to go. The score is 19-21 in this 4th set of action. We'll be right back from a word with our sponsors.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trap beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
An abridged hierarchy of man's needs. Clothing, shelter, duct tape, and beef. But not just any beef. Beef that meets Firehouse Sub's stubborn standards for unfettered flavor. Smoked in a smokehouse for no fewer than 16 hours. Then married to cheddar and steamed to unparalleled palatability. It's a man's needs reinterpreted by a man's man. A fireman. Recharged and ready to roll. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 4th set action. 21-19. Raiders in the lead.
Float serve by number 15, Caroline Angelis. Hard hit by Cindy Norris. Ooh, one attack by number 5, Isabel Thompson for Santa Barbara Vaqueros. Gets the point for them.
That was a great attack as they are now just down by 1, 20-21.
Tight ball game here at Raider Pavilion.
This is a great fourth set, as this will be the last set if Moorpark's able to win this one.
It's a tough situation when the score is that close, but you cannot send your ball 15 feet wide on a float serve.
Especially when you're Andrulis and you're one of the leaders on the team, you're number 1 in kills. That means that you should be pretty adept at hitting the ball over the net in a good position.
Absolutely. Got to set a good example for the freshmen.
Friend with the attack. Great block by O'Sullivan and Sexton.
Oh, free ball given to Santa Barbara. Oh, a free ball off between the two teams.
Here goes Friend once again with the attack. Young able to recover.
Sexton with the high ball to the outside. Oh, Madison Wright shaking her head right after she hits that one. Long point to the Santa Barbara Vaqueros.
21-22, just down by 1 point is the Vaqueros.
As everyone here on the edge of their seat, float serve short, gotten up by Rebecca Sexton. Wow, shank pass by Santa Barbara. Both teams all over the place. Free ball attempt for Moorpark.
Sexton to O'Sullivan.
Gotten up by number 14, Kiana Pasula. Oh, and number 11, Shannon Friend smashes that ball into the antenna. Point goes to the Raiders.
Yeah, she smashed into the antenna and ran into the net, so it would have been a penalty either way.
And painful nonetheless.
Yes, that would be painful. As the Raiders are up 23-21 with O'Sullivan.
Good deep serve by Natalie O'Sullivan. Wow, hard hit by Friend, but the Moorpark Raiders got it up, but there was a miscommunication. Gives the point to the Santa Barbara Vaqueros. 23-22 here at Raider Pavilion. Tight ball game. If the Raiders win this set, then they win the match.
Pisulo with the serve. Here goes Wright.
It's gotten up by the Vaqueros. Free ball situation for Moorpark.
Sexton to Brown. No good.
Oh. Wow, Madison Wright smashes that ball in the net, or into the block. Clutch move on her part, gets the point for the Moorpark Raiders.
Yes, that was a very important point because this is match point. 24-22. This is to win the match for the Raiders.
Match point.
Sexton trying to get it over to Wright. It seems like the Raiders can't get it over the net.
Oh, little ping pong action from both sides. The Santa Barbara Vaqueros just alive in this one, 23-24.
Very intense fourth set. Here comes Friend with the serve, just down by 1.
And you can hear the Moorpark men's volleyball team hooting and hollering at the Santa Barbara server.
Right with the little tap.
Oh,
Young is unable to get there.
Point goes to Santa Barbara Vaqueros. 24-all. Tensions are at an all-time high here at Raider Pavilion. The stakes are on the line. The seats are rumbling. We've got a float serve by number 11, Shannon Friend. High and deep. Oh, wow. Rebecca Young crumbles under the pressure.
Young was unable to get there, but of course, since there are only within 1 point, that 25th point does not get them the set victory. So it is still 25-24, Santa Barbara in the lead.
Makes up with it with a great pass. Oh, wow. Cindy Norris smashes that ball into the block, hits the floor. The set goes to the Santa Barbara Vaqueros. We are going to a 5th set tiebreaker here at Raider Pavilion.
This is going to be very interesting going into the 5th set. 26-24, Santa Barbara able to take it. We will be back with the final 5th set coverage in just a bit from a word from our sponsors.
A firefighter's duty. Fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved, eating fulfillingly flavorful firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not, because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. Let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
I remember the moment clearly,
I'll never forget that moment.
as long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
An abridged hierarchy of man's needs. Clothing, shelter, duct tape, and beef. But not just any beef. Beef that meets Firehouse Subs' stubborn standards for unfettered flavor. Smoked in a smokehouse for no fewer than 16 hours. Then married to cheddar and steamed to unparalleled palatability. It's a man's needs reinterpreted by a man's man. A fireman. Recharged and ready to roll. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the 5th set. This is the moment of truth. Torrin Perryclear and Ryan Ketchum on the call. This is very intense right now.
The 5th set's always a tough one. Nerves are at an all-time high. Only 15 points in this set. The players will switch sides, whoever gets to 8 points first. And everything's a little bit calmer in this set, actually. Things are more strung out. There's more time in between points. Let's see what number 8 can do with her serve, Madison Wright.
Yeah, she'll be starting this set off and hopefully getting a point to start off this set. The only time that the Moorpark Raiders have not won a set with the starting with the first point was last set, which was the 4th.
Absolutely. The first point, as we have discussed before, is absolutely paramount to a team's success in this set. And they do get the point. Point Raiders.
As we did see in the 2nd and 3rd set, the Raiders got at least the first 2 points for themselves before the Vaqueros got a point. So maybe that's one of the things that they have to do to get this victory.
Absolutely. Madison Wright's been an excellent service whip at the beginning of every set. She gets the 2nd point.
This is a great way to start it off.
Great way. The Santa Barbara Vaquero is looking a little haphazardous right now. Not really knowing their jobs. Players running into each other. Doesn't look good for them.
Right with a nice serve.
Pass gone to the outside. Wow, great up by Rebecca Sexton. And Megan Conlon takes a fierce swing. Overpass. Dinked up by Santa Barbara. Swing on the outside. Oh, wow, that was sheer luck by number 15, Carolyn Angelis. Bounces off the tape and nicks the corner for a point.
It looked like it almost ran across the tape a little bit. It did a little tightrope action.
It walked the tightrope for sure.
Young with the bump up.
Set to the outside. Megan Conlon hits high off the hands. Point goes to Moorpark.
And it looked like there was one of those situations where the ball was coming at, it was actually number 10, Hillary Bean. It was coming at her at about 60 miles per hour. She couldn't get away in time, though. So
Absolutely.
Raiders got that point, 3-1.
Ball goes down the seam. Point for the Santa Barbara Vaqueros. You can see earlier assistant coach Aaron Hedlund giving the players areas to serve where there may be a weak link in the service receive. Good pass by Megan Conlon. Outside. Hits that ball high into the tape.
Here comes
Dig
Andrulis.
shot. Oh, wow. And Megan Conlon really lost the point for her team by throwing her hands up at that ball. Not her ball.
Carly Young was unable to get to it, of course, with that little bump up, little set that we saw from Conlon.
Absolutely, that's where communication becomes paramount. I'm sure any given player can get a certain ball at a given time. However, you want the player with the best vantage point to get the ball, to give the best pass.
4-3, very tight matchup in the 5th and final set. Raiders in the lead, and that set. Excuse me, that serve, yes, that was able to fall right inside the line for an ace.
You can hear the fans pounding their seats after that ace. Oh, that one driven just a bit too hard by Cindy Norris. Point goes to Santa Barbara Vaqueros. We are 5-4 here in the 5th set in favor of the Raiders.
Santa Barbara down by 1, and Drulis is in to serve, number 15 from the Vaqueros. Conlon with the attack, and it is in.
High, hard, and deep to the back corner. She gets the point for her team. Number 2, Tyler Galipo in the serve. We've seen this tag team duo in the past 4 sets. Let's see if she can get an ace for her team.
They're up 6-4 right now.
Float serve inbound. Handled well by Santa Barbara. 1 set. And it didn't look like there was a touch, although at least 3 different players tried to touch it, so the point goes to Moorpark.
Yes, it should be going to Moorpark. It looked like Galipo was back to try to hit the ball up, but just got her hands out of the way before the ball touched her, and it went out of bounds. Great recognition right there from the Raiders, so the point will go to Moorpark.
No touch. Great discussion by the head ref and the line judge.
It's always good to see the refs discuss because they are staying true to their work. They are looking at all possibilities of if a player touched it or if it just went out of bounds.
Oh, shank pass by number 11, Shannon Friend. But a hard hit out of bounds. Tried to make up for it for her team, but tried a little too hard. 8-4 here, Raiders up in the 5th set.
Yes, and they will do a quick change of benches real quickly before they continue that 5th set. And again, as you just said, 8-4 the score is, and the Raiders are winning behind their home crowd.
Absolutely, they just got to keep their consistency here in the 5th set, which is easier said than done, to say the least. Volleyball is a game of errors, and there's a lot of emotion, momentum, and energy put into this game. Number 2, Galipo with the serve. Puts it into the tape. The last thing you want to do for your team.
Yes, Galipo, she's usually one of the better servers on this Raiders team. That is definitely not something you want to see. As we mentioned, service error should never happen. It's just a little bit of, it just carries a little bit that serve, or it's a lack in concentration. It's something that makes that ball go into the net.
Absolutely. Oh, shot and pass to the net by Carly Young. Forces a quick set by Rebecca Sexton, and the ball put in the tape by Madison Wright. Float serve by number 13, Carissa Mertens.
Down 6-8. That's for the Santa Barbara City College.
There's that dump shot by Rebecca Sexton. The little flea flicker over the tape hits the floor.
She showed it once again.
And you see our Moorpark men's volleyball teammates avidly striking the errors list for the Santa Barbara error tally, which they have so thoroughly written.
Great save by O'Sullivan.
Wow, O'Sullivan almost with the kill on a standing down ball. Oh, great cover by Santa Barbara.
Another block, great save.
Wow. This is a great rally here. Oh, but number 7, Jayla Caston with the 1 set. Puts the ball down for the Santa Barbara Vaqueros.
She caught 3 Raiders participating in the campfire.
Absolutely.
Down 7-9. Santa Barbara City College trying to come back in this 5th set.
High, hard, and deep by Madison Wright, number 8. Gets the point for the Raiders. 10-7, Raiders up.
There goes back Rebecca Sexton.
And this is just an absolute bloodbath here in the 5th set. Both teams fighting for their respective teammates. Everybody wants to win this set. Oh, wow.
It looked like there could have been a lift called, but there is none called, so it will be Vaquero point.
Jayla Caston, given a set she couldn't reach, just tried to push the ball over and luckily hit the Raider block and into the antenna.
A vicious attack, but a great block by the Vaqueros to give them a 1-point deficit, 9-10.
You
Close.
certainly felt the vibrations from that attack, but it was a little bit too low to get the point.
Friend is back to serve.
Great pass by Madison Wright. High set to the outside. Oh, excellent dig by number 11, Shannon Friend, with the dink shot from the pipe. Oh, wow, both girls fighting ridiculously hard.
Good rally going between the teams.
Wow.
And Drulis.
Leaving us two announcers speechless at this rally.
Yes, this is just amazing as Wright hits it just out of bounds.
Wow, another overturned call by the head referee. The line judge didn't see the touch. Head ref saw it. He called it. Point goes to the Raiders.
Good job at keeping everybody honest, and a great call by the head ref. It seems like Santa Barbara City College coach is a little mad at that call, but
to say the least, I'd be mad too.
Here goes Wright with the serve.
Oh, excellent set by number 14, Kiana Pasula. And the opposite hitter hits that ball into the block out of bounds. Point goes to the Santa Barbara Vaqueros.
Yes, that was Conlon trying to block that one. But now Vaqueros only down by 1 point, 10-11 in the game of 15.
High set to Megan Conlon. Hits that ball right at the Olbero, dug it up. Oh, Olberos are sparring with each other, both teams.
Great job to keep it alive from Norris.
Ooh. Free ball for Santa Barbara.
Here goes Sexton. Sexton does it again, but it is just recovered.
I think we all saw that one coming. Oh, that was in. Megan Conlon gets the block on that one. Another tally on the errors list for the Santa Barbara Vaqueros from our Moorpark College men's volleyball athletes.
Up 12-10, here comes Carly Young in to serve number 1 as they take a timeout. Great fist set going on right here. It's very intense. The crowd is pumped up into it. The players are pumped up into it. We should see a good showing, of course. Conlon just getting that vicious block. That is something that they definitely needed. That is a little momentum booster. And as you can see, these players in these Moorpark bench, they're smiling, they're dancing a little bit, they're feeling it, but they still have to stay humble. They still have to, know where the score is. They still have to see that they're only winning by 2, and they still need 3 more points at the least to win.
And I think our announcer, Emery, is playing some John Mayer music to ease the tensions a little bit between the teams. Just take a little of the steam off between the Raiders and Vaqueros. And well-deserved. This is tensions couldn't be higher at 12-10 here in the 5th set at Raider Pavilion. Raiders need 3 points here to win this match and their last home game of the season. We've got number 1, Carly Young, with the float serve.
And as we mentioned, Emery Johnson is actually the public address announcer, the PA announcer for the game tonight.
He's doing a great job with that broken arm.
Young with the great serve.
Tip shot, dug it up by Carly Young. 5 set. Oh,
great save there by Sexton
defense.
and Wright.
1 set. Oh, but not been able to get up by the Raiders. We've got 12-11 here. Raiders leading by 1 point. Number 9, Kaylin Urano, back to serve.
Very intense set. Only down by 1 for Santa Barbara City College.
It's the nature of,
Sexton, great save.
Shank pass, but recovered by the Raiders. Back set, slide. Whoa, great dig by Rebecca Sexton. Wow, both of these teams sparring with each other. Great dig. Rebecca sets Cindy Norris. Oh, and Cindy Norris is roofed straight down. We've got a tie ball game here at 12 points.
Norris just sent it straight in the hands of the blockers from the Vaqueros. And yes, as you mentioned, tie game.
Nothing you can do here as a coach. You just got to let the cards unravel. Good pass by Madison Schrock.
And there goes Conlon with the point.
And she owns that point. She's celebrating like it's Christmas Eve.
And it looks like the men's volleyball team's also celebrating just as much, if not even more than Conlon.
I'd say more, yeah. They're a little bit more stoked than she was, but that's okay.
Yes, because Colin still has to stay composed for the game.
Absolutely. Great dig by Carly Young. A little tight to the net. Oh, and we have a joust point. Number 5, Isabel Thompson gets the point, and we are at 13-13. Ooh, these stakes are high here at Raider Pavilion.
Yes, they are very high as we have Andrulis, number 15, back to serve.
First to clear 2 points wins the match. Good float serve.
Great job by Young.
High set to the outside. Good up by Cindy Norris. D ball set. Oh, and she chucks it long.
Norris just put a little too much on that one.
Timeout taken by the Raiders. Norris, normally a very consistent player, has gotten into a rut at the wrong time.
Yes, and as you were talking about Norris being such a consistent player, number 2 in kills, number 4 in kills per set for this WCS.
Right, and she's hitting 300 right now, kill percentage. She usually is the player that they just chuck the ball up to and hit it high, hard, and deep. But right now she's not performing for her team. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's coming at the wrong time. You know, sometimes the stats don't always match the performance. And, you know, the Raiders got to figure it out in a hurry if they're going to win this set and the match, which is a tough thing to do.
And they do need this point right now to be able to stay in the game, because if Vaqueros get this point, they win.
Absolutely. And you see the maturity and camaraderie between the Moorpark Raiders. Everybody having a little heart-to-heart right now, talking with each other, you know, how they're going to handle this serve and the point. And it's a good thing. Good sense of maturity to see from the Moorpark Raiders.
14-13. Vaqueros are in the lead with Andrulis back to serve, number 15.
She bounces the ball a couple extra times. Good pass by Madison Wright.
Sexton to O'Sullivan.
Goes
into the campfire.
That was disgusting. Little dink shot over the top of the block. Drops, hits the floor. The easiest ball to get in volleyball, yet caught these 3 Vaquero defenders off guard.
Some of the Vaquero defenders were trying to do a pancake, unable to get there in time, though.
We got Galipo, number 2, back to serve for the Moorpark Raiders.
Friend with the attack, and it is good. Just gets inbounds, and
Makes
now
it
they
look
have.
too easy.
Yes.
That was too easy for the Vaqueros. Moorpark's got to do something about that. Maybe shift the block a little bit more to the line portion of the court. Take that hit away.
Yes, it was a little too easy for them. Now they're up 15-14. This is match point. We are basically on match point on every single point right now, unless it is a tie.
You're absolutely right. Mertens with the serve.
O'Sullivan.
Now, Shank Pass are going to get it up. They do. Free ball inbound from Moorpark.
Good save by the Vaqueros.
Good pass by Tyler Galipo. Good high, hard hit. Friend with the high, deep swing. Oh, Galipo gets it up.
Right with the attack.
Wow, Madison Wright jumping for joy, and rightly deserved. 15-15 ball game here at Raider Pavilion.
And as you mentioned, jumping for joy, men's volleyball team jumping for joy. Galipo jumping for joy. Also, we have the men's football team up standing right now, jumping for joy.
You gotta love Moorpark College. You'll see this nowhere else.
Sexton to Brown.
Little tip shot, outside set. Friend puts that one into the net. Something uncharacteristic of her abilities. Number 16-15. Wow, timeout. And quite frankly, me and Ryan are speechless here at Raider Pavilion.
This is just amazing. Up by 1 point. This is to win the match. This is match point, and they need this one for Steve Burkhart. What a way to give your coach off, to be able to send him off to wherever he's going to go in retirement. There's no better way to do it by winning at home.
Right, you can't put him in the home before winning your last home match.
And especially with a 5-set game that I guess you could technically say goes into overtime since it's over 15.
Oh, it's absolutely overtime. It was overtime in the second set, I believe, when it was 24-26 in favor of the Vaqueros. That is, you can hear the Let's Go Moorpark chants reverberating throughout the gym here at Raider Pavilion.
Number 4, Natty O'Sullivan is back to serve for the Raiders, 16-15.
You can tell every fan is just as into this game as the players are here at Moorpark. Good serve by Natalie. High ball to the outside friend. Oh, she makes the smart play and just puts it in the corner. Point goes to the Vaqueros. Nothing Raiders can do about that. They just got to keep sparring.
Yes, they do, with it all tied up.
Float serve. Oh, bad pass by Young. Free ball opportunity for the Vaqueros. Slide attack. Oh, but blocked by the Raiders.
Great
Going
block.
to the outside. Friend. Oh, she trickles it past the block.
And here's match point once again, just on the flip side though. It is Vaquero match point, 17-16, Santa Barbara City College up.
Good pass by Tyler DeLipo.
Sexton to right.
Tip shot over the block by Madison. Oh.
Carly Young tries to dive and dig the ball, but it just deflects off of her forearms and it goes out of bounds. And that's how the Moorpark Raiders go down against the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros.
That was for all the marbles there, and that's a terrible feeling to shank a ball on the last point. But, you know, it wasn't her fault. The team should have been in a better position in that set from the get-go. It shouldn't have come down to 16-18.
Yes, unfortunately, they were unable to get this victory. But join us for our post-game show right after this coverage. And we're going to meet with a few of our sponsors real quickly as the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros beat the Moorpark College Raiders in an overtime match in this 5-set game between these two high-level WSC matchups. So we will be right back with post-game coverage in just a bit.
A firefighter's duty. Fighting fires, rescuing citizens, performing copious kettlebell exercises, demands a daring degree of readiness. A degree of readiness achieved, eating fulfillingly flavorful firehouse subs. With premium carved meats and cheeses, steamed to tasty magnificence, then piled onto toasted rolls. Is your footwear connected to your pants? No, it's not, because you're not a firefighter. But you can be ready like one. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs. Let us celebrate innovations that propel our species forward. The crescent wrench, the chainsaw, the labradoodle, and steam. Steam harnessed to liberate the flavor of premium carved turkey and cheddar cheese before a culinary coronation of peppercorn ranch and pepper bacon. Give a man meat, and he can make you a sandwich. Teach a man to use a steamer, and he can make you a sub fit for a firefighter. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
I remember the moment clearly,
I'll never forget that moment.
as long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
abridged hierarchy of man's needs. Clothing, shelter, duct tape, and beef. But not just any beef. Beef that meets Firehouse Subs' stubborn standards for unfettered flavor. Smoked in a smokehouse for no fewer than 16 hours. Then married to cheddar and steamed to unparalleled palatability. It's a man's needs reinterpreted by a man's man. A fireman. Recharged and ready to roll. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
I remember the moment clearly,
I'll never forget that moment.
as long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
An abridged hierarchy of man's needs. Clothing, shelter, duct tape, and beef. But not just any beef. Beef that meets Firehouse Subs' stubborn standards for unfettered flavor. Smoked in a smokehouse for no fewer than 16 hours. Then married to cheddar and steamed to unparalleled palatability. It's a man's needs reinterpreted by a man's man. A fireman. Recharged and ready to roll. Firehouse Subs, the hero of all subs.
Everybody, welcome to the post-game show. My name is Ryan Ketchum alongside Warren Perry Clear and also Henry Johnson. Henry Johnson was actually away from us during the broadcast, but he was down on the court as the public address announcer. And of course, Warren was up with me in the booth as the color commentator. I was the play-by-play commentator. And we are here still at Moorpark College Raider Pavilion. And unfortunately, unable to get the victory in this match. Henry, you were down on the court. Of course, you had a little bit of a different view. We had kind of a bird's eye view, but you had right up close. We saw some calls from the referees. They were able to huddle up, and they were actually able to do a good job. What did you see with the referee communication?
Yeah, obviously coming into this game, there's a lot of tension based on the fact that the Raiders did lose against Santa Barbara last time, 3-0 in 3 sets. So obviously there's a lot of tension there between coaches and between teams. So every single time there was something that was relatively close, obviously each coach wanted something to be checked out by the referees. Unfortunately, at least for the teams who were trying to make the appeal, that either call that actually was called for an appeal, it actually stayed the way that was originally called. So nonetheless, good officiating tonight. We've had pretty veteran crews working anyways.
You know, it was interesting because the coaches were really into this game tonight.
Yes,
you could see Steve from the moment the game started to the moment the game ended. Steve was definitely into the game, as well as the coach for Santa Barbara. Both of them being very attentive into how their players would play the game. And obviously, you guys saw it. It came down to the very last serve. So, you know, obviously a lot of tensions and a lot of different things going on. So that's my point of view, at least down on the court.
Absolutely, and you know the margin for error in this game, it's very, very, very small for both these teams. And it really is hard for it to come down to a 16-18 loss in the 5th set for the Moorpark Raiders. They were on fire in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th sets. Granted, they didn't win the 2nd set, but they were still had a 8-point lead or so.
Yeah, I truly believe that it came down to the 4th set when they lost the 4th.
Yes,
I agree.
It really came down to that set because had they obviously because of the numbers-wise, it came down to the fourth. But had they been able to close out there, it wouldn't have been, even if it was tied and say the Raiders tied there, they would have had a victory going into that fifth and final set. Obviously, that came into the fifth set when they looked like they were working in tune. They had everything rolling up until the very, very end of the game. So, good job by both teams to be attentive to the ball. But like you said, it's a game of very, very small mistakes that ends up making the rest of the game.
Yes, it is. And actually, Torn, so since you play men's volleyball here, you have a little bit of insight. What are you trying to take away from this game if you're a player from a volleyball athlete? What are you trying to take away as something good to carry on into your next away game, which is actually the last conference matchup, and hopefully into the playoffs?
Right. I'd say that the upcoming away game isn't so much the worry. If I were the Raiders, I wouldn't be putting too much thought on that. However, the loss tonight, that's what would really leave me heartstruck. I think both sides played their hearts out, and if I was a Raider, if I was on the girls' team right now, I would feel good with how I played. I think would have given it my all. However, there's a little part inside of me that wants that win over Santa Barbara, and it's just from the rivalry, like you said, they had the 3-0 sweep against them at Santa Barbara. It'd feel good to get a sweep or at least a win at home. But going into the next set, you probably won't have a chance at playoffs or the conference championship. So I just try to keep it fun. Just enjoy yourselves and really slow down the night. Enjoy the experience of being able to play college volleyball one last time before transfer or whatnot.
And I think Steve Burkhart wouldn't have too much trouble with that. Of course, this being his last season, he wants to go out, strong. Of course, he wants to win that last game of the season on the road. But just to, have a good time with him, that's going to be their last time with that coach. As we mentioned during the pregame, that's actually the only coach that these Moorpark girls know. That's the only coach they've ever been coached by in the college level. So they want to end off a good note, and they want to be, happy, and they want to produce well.
And they're in good hands, whoever the athletic director sees fit to take over the coaching position, whether it be assistant coach Aaron Hedlund or some other coach, Moorpark has got their back. Moorpark will take care of them, and it's sad to see a prodigy like Stephen Burkhart go, but it's time for him to move on. So that's all we can do is bid him adieu.
Yes, it is. And actually something we were talking about in the booth, me and Torrin, we saw the football players here, and a few of the football players like Jordan Flack was here, Isaiah Johnson, Christian Hill Sanders.
We also had part of the baseball team and softball team in the audience as well.
Yes, almost every single sport was supporting this women's team. What type of energy does that give to your squad out there, seeing that not only do your classmates support you, not only does the administration support you, but also different players from different sports?
Oh, it definitely makes a difference. You can tell on the court. I mean, the noise level inside of here, I can call back to last year when the Raiders were in the playoffs for basketball. We had every single sports team represented in the stands, and it got loud against Bakersfield, let me tell you. And it does make a difference, especially you saw it. The Vaqueros messed up a couple times on their serves tonight because of the noise level and because of the intensity level that the stands brought to the game. So that's my one point in there.
Absolutely. When you've got like a whole angry team of men's volleyball players screaming at you to miss your serve, it's definitely not helping you as a
and they were calling out individual players too.
Exactly. Probably not kosher with the rule book, but it is Raider Pavilion, so we're going to be rowdy whether you like it or not.
Santa Barbara doesn't give us the same treatment when we're out there anyways.
No, they don't have the same culture there.
No, I mean I'm saying they don't give us a rule book style,
right.
Especially in baseball. I can attest to that. My first year playing here, they do not let you off easily in Santa Barbara. They like to let you know when you're going to mess up, if you mess up, and when you do mess up, they let you know. So I think it's a little bit of payback possibly.
It's the home court advantage, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to our coverage and also this post-game show. Thank you very much to all of our production team. We cannot do this without them, with all the camera women, all the cameramen, everybody that does technical directing. Everybody is doing a great job this season, and we cannot do it without them. So we thank them very much. But thank you for tuning in to our coverage, a 3C2A WSC coverage of Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros versus the Moorpark College Raiders. For Torrin Perry Clear, Emery Johnson, my name is Ryan Ketchum, and we'll see you next time.